The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Alright, you blue son of a bitch. What are you blue all the time for anyway, huh?
Oh, gee. Okay, right. Sorry I'm late, Dylan. Oh my goodness. Hey, Sonic. Hey, buddy. Huge fan. How are you doing? Dylan, what was...
He is a criminal. He's a
No,
criminal
he's not
mastermind,
a
and I'm tired of
criminal.
pretending he's not.
He is a hero, and we have to locate him to somewhere nicer than this if we're going to chat with him, all right? But trust me, this is going to be a short process. Sonic, it's not going to be a long time, okay? You're going to be out of here soon, buddy, okay? Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah, we have all of his other little conspirators in the other rooms, so there's no other rooms he can be in. So this is all we got for him.
Let's get him booked in at our coastal resort then, shall we? There we go. That's better. There you go. You want a snack, Sonic? You hungry? You hungry, buddy?
He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve it. He's a thief and a liar and a murderer.
Dylan, that's a human rights violation, man. Like, he's got to eat.
He's not human. Look at him. He's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's in his name. Is it a hedgehog rights violation?
There's a lot of this is not in the notes from his lawyer, but, alrighty then. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream of Sonic's Interrogation, brought to you by Sunset City, the Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. See that he even had a podcast about him, you know, bring the interrogation to the public so that they can see the public record of his, and it's because he's got nothing to hide. Like, if he had anything to hide, the cameras wouldn't be on.
Okay. All right, well, Exhibit A. City escape. He killed hundreds of people skateboarding down, illegally might I add, a street in San Francisco. Killed thousands, perhaps, even millions. We have no idea. Who knows how many people were on that trolley car he knocked over? What do you have to say about that, huh?
Dylan, that is a separate crime. Please check the notes from the lawyer. They will be in your DMs.
We actually have notes for this.
Yeah, there you go. See? Written all up by his...
Well, I mean, this happened within the last 35 years, so I feel like it's fair game.
Yeah, no, but like...
There's no statute of limitations on those lives, pup.
Within Mr. Goodman's notes, it says right here that the crimes that allegedly took place, that Sonic was allegedly involved in, took place on June the 23rd. What the year is it again? 2026.
God, that heat wave's really hitting, huh?
However, yes, it is. It really fucking is. There is evidence to suggest that Sonic is innocent here. Because he did a good thing on that day too. Like, you know, his actual birthday party itself was very classy. It's just he unfortunately committed a few robberies afterwards, according to Mr. Goodman's notes.
Is this all about because... Is this all based on you making that video about not going to the party? Is this what this is? Is this the crime?
So you wanted to be the stern, serious cop, and you didn't actually look at the lawyer's notes. We're not talking about the party. We're talking about what happened... some things that happened that were communicated at the party and then became an issue after the party. Okay? Does that make sense? I'll go through these notes here, okay? But first, there is housekeeping. Super chats are read out at the end of the episode, so not to interrupt the important flow of the political procedure, not political, legal procedure that we're doing today. And then our show is brought to you thanks to our great patrons. The patrons in the Bat Enjoyer tier, the most generous of all, are My Great Rolls, Vem101, Aiden Fitzgerald, Stardust Chaos, Crimson Rose, Mr. SP, and KB. Thank you, folks, so much for funding our little Sunset City PD, SCPD. That kind of has a bit of a ring to it, right?
I don't know, it's starting to sound like some SCP shit.
Okay, well, the notes here say...
We need to contain this man. Sonic basically is an SCP. If he was in that universe, they'd be putting him in a cell where he belongs.
The witness statements do read that Sonic wanted to host a birthday party with some influencer friends and do a little charity fundraiser. Okay, that's what it says here in these notes from the witnesses, and these are kind of like endorsements, I guess, for Sonic. These are testimonies in his favor. But like he naturally like there's testimonies against him as well because this is a legal proceeding. Holy fuck, it's hot outside. So here's what the accusations say. Let me grab his file. All right. The accusations say that he wanted to sell people a global playtest a second time at full price.
And I thought that the murders were egregious. Look at this guy.
No, he has not murdered anyone. How can you say that?
Well, he's murdered expectations, because think about Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition. Doesn't that sound like something that should be incredible? Shouldn't that be amazing with like 10 new islands on it?
I don't see your expectations in the obituary. You don't get a tombstone for your expectations. You don't get a sympathetic leave for your expectations, Dylan.
Oh, maybe I should. Maybe I'm owed something. Maybe I'm owed recompense.
Recompense.
Blue
Sonic,
bastard.
What do you have to say about these things? Whoa.
Can he say that?
Okay, right.
Can he say that?
Yeah, like I'm gonna need you to like cool it, buddy.
I know. I'm a little angry right now, but let's calm down. All right, jeez.
Do we think that maybe there might have been some potential external influences that maybe didn't maybe weren't good for Sonic? Maybe like while he was there,
yeah, like
it
him
might
being
have
created
been.
wasn't too good for him.
Do you think maybe SpongeBob might have suggested Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition as a good idea? Like,
well, I don't see that in Goodman's notes, so I think it's probably all this guy.
I mean, we do have eyewitness reports that SpongeBob was indeed up to something at that party, something illegal, and you know, this is also, you know, a big kind of problem. I'm just saying, you know, like, I don't know. I think if there was a criminal in that room that night, it wasn't Sonic. It was SpongeBob.
I have talked to SpongeBob independently from this. I wouldn't say we're friends. I would say we've crossed paths here and there. If anyone would be the criminal mastermind in that relationship there, I believe it would be Patrick Star. I don't think it would be SpongeBob.
Okay. I feel like you give me a lot of whatabouts here. I'm trying to say SpongeBob's a criminal, and you're like, what about Patrick? No. I've seen SpongeBob.
And improv also works on yes and, doesn't it, my friend?
Listen, bitch, that sponge has holes in him because he's been shot at a bunch of times. He's always in gang wars, okay? Like, you know, like, I'm sorry, he brought gang violence to that birthday fundraiser.
Just made me think of that picture of, I don't think it was an official image, but you ever see that picture of SpongeBob wearing like the gold chain and like the red beanie and stuff, and he's got like,
and he's got the
I
money.
think he's supposed to be, he's got like a microphone or whatever, like he's
like, yeah, it's like one of those old like rap shirts that you could get at like a Camden market.
It feels like he dressed himself at a Hot Topic, basically.
I mean, yeah, and like, you know, did you see him? He was looking a little, you know,
sus.
a little.
You can say
a little hyped up,
sus.
shall we say? A little pepped, shall we say?
Well, to
All
be
I'm
in the
saying
presence of people, I guess it's understandable. He might be a
I
little
don't know. It
excited.
feels like he took a little
We're
stop
pointing
off.
fingers at the wrong person here.
It feels like he took a little stop at the Sonic Speed Cafe, and I think that's a little suspicious.
Yeah, I hear the stuff they serve there.
Uh-huh.
Good, very good stuff.
It will never come to England.
Well, yeah, why would anyone want to do that?
Yeah, it's a good point. Really, why? I mean,
you told me it was 137 degrees the other day, and you showed me like how purple and orange everything was, and it was like, wow. Like you showed me the heat map of it. It was like you could actually see
that was the ground temperature.
In the air.
That was like the tarmac temperature. But like the temperature today in England got as high as 35 Celsius, I think. So what's that? 35 Celsius in Fahrenheit. Yeah, 95 degrees. Now, the thing people don't realize, though, is because it's a small island surrounded by water, it's a humid heat. So you sweat like a bitch non-stop. And also it's air conditioning is not a commonality here, so it's not good. But either way, we're at the seaside. We got Sonic here. He's here to defend himself. So Dylan, what do you understand to be kind of the issue with like what Sonic was trying to do with this little Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition here? Evidence here says something about cash grab, upgrade paths, stuff like that. Like,
well, I guess there's one thing you can mention. There's no upgrade path between the two versions because they're two different games, I believe. But they do share save data, which is at least one nice thing. Other than that, they're the same game. Other than that, though, I think the reluctance for the accused to speak about what this product actually is was intentionally done to garner hype because they know the fan base cannot fucking help itself when it comes to thinking about the new game. So I think it led to a lot of people being very, very excited for something that literally, if you took 3 seconds to think about, it was just going to be a graphics and FPS update in the first place. So that's my case.
The defense here from Mr. Goodman reads that Sonic wasn't really trying to get people to double dip here, but more had the intention to sell the game to kind of newcomers.
Objection!
Okay.
Objection! Yep. There's no upgrade path, so he wanted them to double dip, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. But that's like I think like people would maybe argue that it's like, oh, but this is meant for people who didn't buy the game before and might just be at Walmart. I'm like, that's such a specific demographic, and it's just really badly thought out. And I think, you know, you do need to factor in repeat players and stuff.
It's also funny that that's also the only way that people are actually even looking at this thing, because they just stumble upon it at Walmart and they're like, oh, there it is. You know, like it's like a unicorn. It's like, oh, it's real. Oh.
I mean, the trailer for it was very nice, like very nicely edited, like, and it like kind of showcases like a mix of like the original game and Final Horizon. That feels kind of, I don't know, the presentation of that trailer just made the whole thing feel more like a cohesive vision. It's still obviously not, but like, I don't know, it just kind of showcased like, oh, that's kind of what they were kind of going for. But then, yeah, I do agree that, like, the whole thing feels a little hostile. It's very all or nothing. It's like, oh, hey, guys, Switch 2 version of Sonic Frontiers. Oh, sweet. Is it okay if we have an upgrade? Yeah, but you're going to have to pay for it again. Like, nah, that sucks. That sucks. And it could just be...
Charles Champ in the chat here says the pop-in issues were fixed. I would also like to point out they are not entirely fixed. Well, they have done something to improve on that, which is... at least something, but also makes it all the more confusing as to why we've never heard about any other version of this or an update to any of the other versions of the game that exist right now. Because you think that would exist and be easier to push to everything instead of just putting it on Switch 2. I don't really know why there'd be an exclusivity thing for a patch or a bug fix like that. It just seems kind of silly.
Yeah, I agree completely. Because that was the thing I said as well, is like, you know, one of the number one things people wanted from a Sonic Frontiers revisit was, you know, pop-in fixed and stuff like that. And they actually addressed it, like, to be fair. Like, hats off, they've addressed that by simply changing the numbers, which is all it would have taken several years ago on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles and PC. Literally all they fucking had to do.
Yeah, I had some friends that are game devs that were convinced at one point that the pop-in thing might have been like an engine issue, and it would have taken a lot more than just changing a few values to actually get rid of that. But I guess that's not. I guess that's not the case.
I think it varies from thing to thing. Obviously, like, Sega uses a proprietary engine, so not a lot is really known about how that thing works. But like when it comes to like draw distance, like, yeah, you can do that. I think the weird thing as well, though, is that there's plenty of games that have weaker draw distances than Sonic Frontiers. But they look better than Sonic Frontiers, and it's partly because art direction is one. But like, for example, Breath of the Wild's draw distance isn't any better than Frontiers when played on the Switch 1. but because things fade in, it's not anywhere near as egregious. And it's like, they knew this was here, they've addressed it, they've tried to make it look as good as they possibly can. With Frontiers, it is just the default, snap, here it is, here's the thing, bang! Right, platform, alright, I'm running along, bang! Spring, like, okay. But, it's good that they updated the draw distance. It's not $50 good, but, the other thing is, yes,
actually,
as you said...
I don't want to be that guy, but the mod loader on PC actually does have an option to increase the draw distance a bit. It doesn't fix everything. It causes lag in some cases, but you put it on ×2, it's a lot harder to notice.
Either way, I think Sega should officially put out a patch for current-gen consoles and PC for Frontiers, because it's not cool to just lock a fix behind a separate edition of the game. And then, the fact that it's a fucking key card. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's absolutely terrible. The thing is...
It's actually kind of funny that I didn't even know the extent of what these key cards thing were before, the other day, because I thought that the way it worked was almost sort of like the card itself was like a digital download voucher. You plug it into your system, it becomes access to your system only. You install the game, and then it doesn't work anymore unless you need to reinstall it for your system for whatever reason. The way it actually works is so much fucking dumber. And I had no idea. It's like it installs the game on the key card. The key card installs it to your system, and then you still need to keep the key card in your system to play that digital version of the game you bought. And that to me reminds me of old CD-ROM games that you need to whatever it installs on your system. It's like, okay, cool, we can play the game now, but if you don't insert the disc, fuck you. It's it just feels so weird that it's still the same price and everything. That shit could have been and I don't know if this is gonna be a really dated reference, but it could have been a fucking hit clip, that just has the music on it. You put it in when you want to use it. That's what that is. It's the exact same thing, except in 2026. But it's worse because it doesn't actually have the game on it. You need to be connected to the internet to download it. It's what is the purpose here? This DRM is out of control.
So I'm looking at the official features list of Sonic Frontiers as well. And this is absolutely laughable. They should genuinely be embarrassed about this marketing here. And I'm not saying the marketing team should be embarrassed. I'm just saying whoever put them up to it should be fucking embarrassed by this. So, it reads here, the definitive edition includes Sonic Frontiers full game. God, I'd fucking expect that. The Final Horizon story campaign. Oh, thank you so much for that. For including the free DLC. Thank you. Sonic's Birthday Bash content update. Sights, sounds, and speed content update. These were free. These were free in the first place.
I will at least say, though, calling this the what is it called? Definitive Edition? Deluxe Edition? Whatever. This is a fairly common practice for games where, a couple years later or whatever, they go, here's Skyrim Definitive Edition, and it comes with all the DLC, but usually it's all paid stuff that it loops into the original price. So, back then you would get, and I don't know if Skyrim did it, I can't remember, but, as an example, so to speak, if Skyrim had, 6 DLCs over the course of its lifespan, and then they were like, hey, we're porting this to a new console, and we're going to call it the Definitive Edition, and we're going to use its base price is $60 to $70 to account for now. But you get all that DLC instead of having to pay for it like people did when it first came out in that way. With Frontiers, it's very silly because the Definitive Edition to me means something more than what this is. They're just here's all this free shit that we didn't make you pay for anyway, but pay for the game again.
That's the thing, is a definitive edition is a loaded statement. It doesn't just say Switch 2 version. But in putting Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition includes the Final Horizon story campaign. You might as well be it includes delightful red game box with commemorative paper sleeve inside. Contains wonderful gift code for you to have pleasure in entering in the Nintendo eShop. Comes with instructions in a QR code. You might as well put that. And even the word
I just realized something. I just realized that GameStop and other retailers have had, basically they just have little cards you can buy in store to buy a digital download in store if you so desire that. I don't know why you'd fucking want to do that. But that is even better than a key card because you can type in the code, get your game, download it, and then it's on there, and you don't need to put anything else in your system. Like the only thing I can imagine these key cards are good for are people that really, really, really like to have a physical peripheral, and it's cheaper than having a real game cartridge. Like it feels lazy. It feels weird, doesn't it?
I understand also though, like I understand people like to own physical media. I like to own physical media. But if the physical media isn't truly physical, are we not just fucking really just wasting a lot of valuable resources on making all these fucking plastic boxes and shit? Like,
it's just like it's a way
helping the environment if we just stopped that. Yeah. So, like, I think maybe
most of those cards I was talking about, most of those like digital things you could buy in store are all made of paper anyway, like paper and cardboard. So it's like, okay, you're done with
Nintendo
it. Throw it in the recycling bin.
Yeah, Nintendo's just like, hey, here's your paper and plastic. You can throw it away. Like that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. If you're going to do that, it should come in an envelope. Like, for fuck's sake. Like, actually, how exciting would that be? A little key thing in an envelope, and it looks like a little...
Charles Champ, you can't rely on that in this day and age. That doesn't make sense. No bank info needed. You can't have your info leaked. No card. It doesn't make sense. There's no way to justify how it works. The only reason it's happening is because every other tech thing is increasing in price by like 8,000% because of all the AI dickheads.
Yeah,
so like they clearly can't pay for enough space to make cards cheaper.
Sony have hiked up the prices of the PlayStation 5. Xbox have hiked up the prices of the Series S and X.
Going up again.
It was recently announced that GTA would be a code in a box. And it's like, it is just kind of dystopian looking at like the gaming landscape at the moment. And I think something has to change. The thing is, right, with like regard to like the GTA thing, like I think the game is supposed to be like 600 and something gigabytes, which is like, okay, fine, buy a PlayStation 5, put one game on it and fuck off, basically. Because downloading that's going to take time. You're not going to want to keep downloading and unloading it, so then you got to basically buy a separate storage thing for it. And it's like, the thing is, all these companies are finding brand new ways to pass the costs on to the consumer. Like, at the end of the day, Microsoft has the money to swallow the uptake in chip shortage price and whatnot, but like they're putting that onto us so that they don't lose their profits, basically. But like with the Steam machine, I said about that, no affordable price, no buy. There you go. Like, you know, you're like, oh, but we couldn't possibly sell it at a lower price. Then you can't possibly sell it. But then back to kind of the physical media thing. It's like, oh, but games can't fit on discs anymore. It's like, well, that was an art, you know, back in the day. Back in my day, they had to work within the limitation. They couldn't just fucking raw dog it. Like, you know, like, and yeah, I just think it's a testament to shit is needlessly ambitious, and it's costing us. And it's like, all I fucking wanted was just a fun game to play, you know? Like...
Yeah, no, I agree. It's very silly. And especially because I just learned, because I've never bought a game keycard. I typically buy digital because I like being able to switch games easily without having to move cards in and out and worry about losing them, because I go between... Because I don't have like a permanent living situation right now, technically. Like, I have to leave this place eventually, so it's like... I don't want to keep packing stuff up, moving stuff around. I lose stuff every time I move. Just have it on the Switch. It's easier that way. Sure, they can steal it from me, and, you know, once the shops go down, I'm kind of fucked. But by that point, I'm going to have it all, you know, like on an emulator anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, is there anything else about Frontiers Definitive Edition?
Well,
it's silly. In actuality, okay, obviously this is a big skit. We're having fun, having a laugh. I do think Frontiers Definitive Edition legitimately either was not advertised because they knew themselves that it was not a big deal, or they wanted people to advertise it for them by being like, what is this? What is this? And that's what happened. Like, everyone jumped the gun. They over-exaggerated it. Everyone was like, this is going to be big. It's the next big thing. And then it clearly isn't, because they were never going to talk about it. They were like, here's a shadow drop.
It to be the next big thing, and I'm also kind of relieved it's not, because I really didn't want to be in a position where it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy Sonic Frontiers again. But like, just the fact that this definitive edition just exists in the way that it does, and that there's just no upgrade path, just comes off as so sleazy and so cheap to me. Like, and it's just a bit too mask off, you know? And the thing is, like, if they really wanted to do, oh, but it's for the general audience. I mean, again, still no excuse for the lack of update path. But if they really wanted to do that, then why are you presenting it at the 35th anniversary party? You know, like that's a fan event. You know, if this isn't for fans who have played the game, I mean, they're showcasing it there because you got to showcase a product. But what this all loops back to is, if you're going to re-release a product, it has to be, you know, willing to cater to the returning fans if you want those fans to actually be interested in it, you know? Like, so it's so strange. It's like, okay, you could argue, oh, it's not for the fans, but it's at a fan thing, it's being showcased. So confusing. But, like, yeah, just a really rubbish release, and it doesn't even look good. Have you seen some of the pictures of it?
Yeah, I've seen, like, Frank's been talking about it and stuff. Like, Frank name drop. Yeah.
Like, there's, like, a lot of pictures online of, like, okay, for starters, there's a graphics and performance mode, and with Switch 2 hardware and Sonic Frontiers, that should not be necessary. Like, you could run Cyberpunk on a Switch 2, right? Like,
I don't know, I hadn't done it. But,
Sonic Frontiers should pretty much run as it does on PS5 in, like, 60 FPS, effectively. And,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
like,
the Switch 2 is still not, it's not nearly as powerful as that still. Like, it's obviously a lot better than the original Switch, but it is nowhere near the level of a PS5, I don't think.
Sonic Frontiers didn't exactly use a fraction of the PS5's power either, you know? Like, on any console, it's a very weak-looking game, and both technically and art direction-wise. And, like, yeah, like, as Mr. Terry Chaos says in the chat, like, in handheld mode, it looks comparable to the Switch 1 version on Switch 2, back compat mode with handheld boost mode. Yeah, so, basically, you can get a handheld boost mode for, the Switch 1 version of Sonic Frontiers and play it on the Switch 2, and then that gives you, like, the 60 FPS, and then you're basically getting the same gameplay experience as Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition, just with way more poppin', like, the worst version of the poppin'. And I will say, looking at, like, the promo shots that they chose, like, to put on, like, the website and stuff of, like, Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition, you can see that fixed poppin' was something they did want to showcase. Like, one of the pictures just has Sonic running through Final Horizon Aranos, and you can see all that sky shit just clearly visible. And I will say, I'd imagine for Final Horizon, the expanded draw distance is probably beneficial, because the biggest issue with Final Horizon, outside of difficulty balancing and everything else, was, where the fuck am I going? Where is it? You know? It hasn't popped in yet. How am I supposed to fucking know? You know?
It's kind of tough, too, because I'm also thinking again about the upgrade path thing, and from what we've seen so far, third-party companies have the option to do that. They have the option to give a Switch 2 upgrade to their games. I've seen it with various whatevers. Daisy, stop that! Stop! Literally, you tell a cat to not do something, and they go, okay, but I will do it again in 35 seconds. Don't worry. We'll try again. So, what was I saying? The upgrade path thing makes me a little... not concerned. I'm interested in how that works, because theoretically, just thinking about how, like, video games work, like when you open them up and, like, you see all the file paths and shit, like, the reason I would expect it to not have an upgrade is because whatever they did to fix that stuff for the Switch version must add files that the original game would not be able to read. Or it wouldn't.
It does. I don't think it does. I think it's literally just they edited the values.
Then there's no reason for there not to be an upgrade path. Like, the only thing that could stop it from doing that is because there would have to be either a ton of new files that maybe putting all that into the Switch 1 version just caused it to explode, or I don't think it's literally malicious. That was part of the bit. I don't think it was actually malicious, but, like, because they do the save data thing. So the save data at least would be in the same directory as the original game. So I think that's why you're able to get those two to sync up like that. But that means something else is different, and it wasn't able to work together like that. Like, that's where you get things like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, right? Like, you get all three of those games. You get Galaxy, you get Mario Sunshine, whatever. I have Galaxy 1 and 2 collection on Switch as well, because I got it for cheap. And And those games don't share anything at all because the difference is, I guess, the Switch, the Galaxy 1 and 2 ports were changed enough. So, like, it's not like a thing where you can't even get the save data out of that version of Galaxy into this one, even though the exact same game. Like, under the hood, they're just fundamentally different. I don't know why Frontiers would be so different from the original version as to not include that way to upgrade. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense in my head.
I do think that, like, so there are higher quality, like, model assets, I guess, in the like next gen versions that weren't in the Switch 1 version, so they probably had to, you know, do that. But I don't know, like, it just doesn't. I still think you can do that. You know, if you can patch a game and add these things to it. The only thing I could think of maybe would be, like, if, I don't know, like, just things like the, what's it called? Subsurface scattering. In fact, that's something I wonder. Is the subsurface scattering fixed? Because that was a huge problem on the original. And that was basically where, you know, when, like, Sonic's peach parts would, like, kind of look like they're, like, glowing and, like...
Glow, yeah.
kind of have a porcelain look. That was basically, like, the idea is, like, skin picks up light, I get that, and that's, like, a next-gen feature, and the Switch doesn't have access to that, so maybe they had to, in order to get that in there, but the thing is, it looked terrible. The other thing is also that, like, where am I going with this? Fuck, sorry, my head is so slow today.
Yeah. The heat's destroying him, he has no idea.
No, genuinely, this shit sucks. I'm on SSRIs as well, so, like, fucking, I have a heat intolerance. But what was I saying? Where did I say last?
Subsurface scattering, something about the skin looking funky.
Yeah, I think if, you know, if they were like, oh, $50 so we could justify keeping the subsurface scattering or whatever, that's just fucking stupid because it always looked bad in the first place. Yeah, like, and then I just wonder if they fixed it anyway so that it didn't look terrible. It's so bizarre that never got patched in the first place as well. If it did get fixed in Definitive Edition, then that needs to be patched as well. Like, genuinely, like, all these improvements, the one improvement, that they did to the Definitive Edition should be patched for everything else. Well,
yeah, I don't really understand how it's working, especially with how small of, like, a difference it really is.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're playing it on the Switch anyway, especially if you're playing in handheld mode, like, I know that we all know this. We all obviously know that the fucking game has issues. We all know this. We've all seen it happen. People who are playing it for the first time are going to be like, this kind of looks bad still. You know, like, almost positive. Like, people are going to be like, this doesn't look very definitive to me. And that's a shame, because this really could have just been an update, it feels like. I don't know why it's not just an update being pushed for all consoles or all versions. It seems bizarre. Like, I get that the Switch one was the worst version by far, but just push the update. I don't know. Like, I don't get it. Or maybe they can't push... Oh, you know what it might be? Maybe they can't push an update like that to the Switch version because, like, they can't ensure that someone is going to be running it on a Switch too. So, like, there's no way for them to, like, make it so the Switch isn't going to explode after the update happens, you know?
No, they have the checks and balances in place for that. Like, these are things that are just inherent to the console itself. Like, a Switch 1 is not going to try and play a Switch 2 game, and I don't think you can even... I don't know if you can.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If they change the under the hood of the game, and they don't do anything to make it so the Switch understands what's like maybe they would have had to, like, have a whole different directory for, like, Switch 1 version, Switch 2 version, that kind of thing.
That's what an upgrade.
Otherwise,
that's what an upgrade path would do.
Okay, so to me, now that I'm thinking like that, sort of makes me understand it a little bit more, because, like, if they did just go that route and say, okay, we're going to update every version of the game, which I still think they should do, first of all.
Yes.
If that indeed is the issue, and they're like, okay, we have no way to get the Switch 1 to not run Switch 2 files and, like, upgrades, so we have to make this separate version?
No, that is not,
like,
no, that's not an issue. That's, like, it is within.
I don't
the
know, man. I
Switch's
feel like the Switch is stupid. I
operating.
feel like if you tried to, like, I know you're saying it won't run a Switch 2
That
game.
would be
This is obvious. I
Nintendo's
get
problem then, not Sega's. If your computer's stupid enough to run something it's not supposed
Well,
to.
no, I know,
like,
but like the point is, if it's Nintendo's stupid issue, then I understand why
I
Sega
don't
has to do it this way. I
any-
just wish they would say that. They just can't say that because
then
Nintendo would be
why
like,
would
"Hey,
that- why
don't
would that
do
not
that."
affect other upgrade paths in that case?
No, I'm not saying add an upgrade path. I'm saying if they pushed an
No,
update
I'm saying add an upgrade
to
path.
every version of the game. No, listen. Shh. Stop.
Okay,
You're heat
okay.
stroking. Stop it. Listen to me. All right.
Okay.
So if they pushed an upgrade, not an upgrade, if they pushed an update to fix these small things to every console version,
Yes.
and the Switch can't handle that, but they say, oh, it's for the Switch 2 version, there's no way for the Switch internally, I assume, to decide that game is bad. Like if like maybe you boot the game up after they push that update and the Switch is just like overheating immediately because the graphics have been touched up or whatever. So the point is,
No,
I think if
that's
you
what I'm
own the
saying,
Switch
it's
1
not
version,
going-
hold on,
Oh, right.
hold on,
Okay.
hold on.
All right. Okay.
Hold on.
Yep.
So if you have the Switch 1, but not a Switch 2, but you're playing the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2, you have things like that boost mode performance thing, which just kind of tricks the game into playing like it's in docked mode for the Switch 1. But there's probably no way for them to get the game to differentiate between what console it's on, between Switch 1 and 2, because they're so similar. So if you push that update for the Switch version specifically without making a separate version, I assume the Switch would just be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is this? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I can't run this. But then the Switch 2 one, which is not a Switch 2 specific version, would be like, oh yeah, this is fine. Because it was made for that. So, like, maybe doing that would fuck up the original Switch a lot, and they don't want to do that. So that's why they made the definitive version. But that's an even better reason to call it Sonic Frontiers Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. I don't know.
I think I'm just not convinced that would be the case, and I am not convinced that
This is speculation.
Yeah, I genuinely, because
yeah.
When you do this on the PS5 and you get like an upgrade path on that, when you click to open the game on your PS5, it asks you which one you'd like to open. But if you were to try to open that on a PS4, because, you can share an account and stuff like that, you would only get the PS4 one available. I would hope that any console designed by a professional would have the same failsafe measured.
Mr. Terry Chaos says there's a way to differentiate. Look at Super Mario Odyssey. There's a Switch 1 game with a performance patch. That's true. That is true. That's a good point. If you plug Mario Odyssey, some Switch 1 games plugged into the Switch 2 do just have better performance. They run better. I assume Sega doesn't know how to do that, or that maybe that technology is not being given out to third parties. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like,
at the end of the day, they could figure it out. This is the same company that figured out how to smush two games together to make one big super game with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm sure they can figure something that is just not so consumer hostile out. Even if it is just have a code of, do you already own the Switch 1 copy? Here's a discount code or something for, like, I don't know, 50% off. Because I think 50% off is fair. But, like, life ain't fair. But, like...
Yeah, that's why the upgrades are usually cheaper than the base game, thank God. But yeah, no, what Mr. Cherry Chaos says, I actually have... hold on, the PS5 also has a way of running some PS4 games with better performance than the PS5. God of War, for example, it's not a PS5 port. See, that to me, again, makes it sound like a Nintendo issue, and it's making me wonder if maybe the way that they could have done that, or like the way they do it for Odyssey and other games, is just something that Sega and Sonic Team have no idea how to replicate, and Nintendo is not helping anyone with it. It's also better, if we think about it this way, actually, it's also a lot better for Nintendo if Sega makes a brand new version of the game that's exclusive to their console, because then you have to buy the whole game again. And it's good for Nintendo and Sega, technically.
Which is everything I'm accusing this whole fucking thing of.
Yeah, like, I don't want to believe it. Sega and Sonic Team... Okay, I'm not going to say Sega as a whole. Sonic Team has been very good lately, for the last couple years, about just being very open about a lot of things. They have been, reaching into the community more and talking with people. There have been a lot more community programs. They're being a lot more open about stuff. to me, it feels like a Sega thing that they were like, no, don't tell anyone about this. We're just gonna make
definitely.
people.
No. I'm not blaming Sonic Team for a second.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a Sega decision, not a Sonic Team 100%. For sure.
No, that's a. My complaint here isn't even. I mean, I have complaints about the product. Like, there's a lot wrong with the product. I haven't really used the product though, but from everything I've seen, it shouldn't be that way. Like it should.
I'm not paying for that shit again, so
it should be 1,000 times better than it is. I mean, it should have been better than it was in the first place, to be honest. Like the original release as well. But like, Sega and their re-releases. But then it gets a bit more asinine because then in October they've announced some new re-releases as well for October. These are 2 new Sonic Collection box sets, and I think there's kind of conflicting information. I'm not 100% sure here. Some are saying these are Switch 2 exclusive, some are saying they're Switch 1 exclusive. Either of these is stupid.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so we're talking about the Sonic Collections. Now who's got heat stroke? We're talking about the Sonic Collections that are
I heard about that, and people were like, yeah! And then I saw people going, oh, and I just didn't look into it. I actually have no idea what they are.
All right, I'll talk you through it then. So, in October, they're releasing 2 new collections. I believe for the Switch 2, but I've seen some things say the Switch, so I'm just not sure. So, you've got the Classic Sonic Collection and the Modern Sonic Collection. Now, it's like, okay, Classic Sonic Collection number 56, here we fucking go. But to be fair, this might be one of the best Sonic Classic collections they've ever done. Still not, what I want to see, but this might be the best one they've done. It includes Sonic Origins, Sonic Mania, so just those 2 alone already we're off on good footing here. And Sonic Superstars, and we can just ignore that.
I mean, that is all the classic games for the most part, I guess. That's a fairly
you get the
good
Game
Gear
games. Yeah, like if it's including Origins Plus.
Shit, that's true.
It better include the fucking pluses. But if
does it include the pluses?
Yeah. It doesn't say. It literally doesn't say. But if it's including the pluses, you're getting a good amount of like classic Sonic there. You're getting all the Game Gear games. You get the main Genesis games. You get Mania. Like that's great. That's really good. Superstars is there too. I will say though, you could get Sonic Mania and Sonic Origins just by themselves, probably for cheaper than it would be to get the 3-pack, and then you just don't have to worry about Sonic Superstars. So I won't lie, I still find this to be a little bit tricky to kind of rationalize.
That I don't mind too much about that. Like I know I have my opinions on Superstars, obviously, but like the fact that you get all of that in a package and it's gonna be either around a similar price or just under, I feel like.
I think that's a little steep.
Yeah, I mean that is a lot less. It's a lot less than all 3 of them together, like outward. So
yeah, but if you were to get the 2 good ones together, you're getting a better experience for less.
Sure. I mean, in that case, though, I kind of have to side with whoever might be saying, like, oh, well, maybe this is for people who have never bought these games, and I can at least see that as being a good purchase.
I agree with that, and I think that's what they're best for, but there's a slight little thing here. They come with like a 35th anniversary little art booklet and a 35th anniversary like pin badge kind of thing, and it's like, well, that feels like it's aiming at fans, so that's kind of
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as upset about that, I guess. But actually, Terry had another really good point that this whole like no upgrade path might be a Sega-wide decision for like every Sega property, because they said that that SMT game, Raito Remastered, also does not have a Switch 2 upgrade path. There's just the Switch 1 and Switch 2 versions. So it's either something that they cannot figure out, they don't want to do, or that's it, I guess. I think that's the only 2 options. They don't want to do that, or they can't figure it out. I imagine it's that they don't want to do it because they can make more money by selling a separate copy of the game. That's my thought.
I do want to kind of throw out that like I would like to see another Sonic collection drop. And I tell you what, like obviously like we'd all like modern collections, and there is one coming. We'll talk about that in a bit. But if we were to get another classic collection, I'd love to get like the Saturn years and stuff like that as like a collection. And put, like, Sonic Jam on there and stuff. Like, that would be nice. Even if it just emulates it. Like, if there were just a way to play those games on the Switch or just any other, like, console, I would love that. Put Sonic the Fighters in there as well. Like, you know, just those years. Because, damn it, it is always the same games. But in this instance, this isn't like a... This isn't like a big collection in the way that Origins was like a huge, like, kind of big project. This is just kind of a quick get it out the door. This is for newcomers.
I know exactly how to describe this. That collection, I assume the modern one as well, is basically when I say this, I am including myself in this as well, obviously. This is like when YouTubers make, 6 videos about a thing, and then they combine them into one package and say it's a big new video.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. Except on their
It
end.
was always intended to be long, even though it definitely wasn't. And there's, like, credit bumpers in there and stuff.
Okay, that actually bugs me when people don't remove those. Whenever I did a video like that, I would remove beginning and outro segments when it made sense.
Do that. However...
just because I would want it to flow better, but...
It was never an ideal situation because then it's like, oh, the audio fades out here and it's gotta have a slight transition, but it's alright. Like,
oh my god, hold on. There's yet more information coming. My friend Jay in chat says, it's not that they can't figure out the upgrade thing because they did it with Crossworlds. They just don't want to do it with other games. That's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about Crossworlds because there is an upgrade path for that game, right?
Money.
So, like, that one I don't understand at all. Now I'm even more confused because to
That's
me,
what I'm saying. It's genuinely, you can see why we're interrogating this bum now, can't you? Like,
why is he in front of the table? Shouldn't he be behind the table?
No, he's on the opposite side of the table to us because we're interrogating him. He's on one side, we're on the other.
He's not even looking at us.
No, he kind of is in like an abstract kitsch way.
Okay. But yeah, no, that makes me very confused because now I don't. Because thinking about Crossworlds, I was talking a lot about file structure, stuff like that earlier. I've dug through Crossworlds files and made mods for that game. Every time, oh my god, I think I might know what it is. That wasn't made by Sonic Team, right? That was made by a different studio. Wasn't that made by like a more arcadey studio or something?
No, it was Sonic Team, but assisted by Sega's old arcade racing division.
Okay, so
what a collab.
To me, yeah, no, I mean it was good, obviously, because Crossworlds is great, but to me, it doesn't really. Could it be the time frame? Because Crossworlds is a newer game. No, because the Rhino Remastered was new.
This whole thing to release the Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition is not a Sonic Team decision. Like,
I don't understand why. I mean, I guess it has to just come down to money. It's just literally Sega was like, no, sell them a second copy because people will buy the second copy.
This is why I made that video fucking really kind of shitting on it, is because it is just mask off greed this time. And we've seen that Sega are willing to get greedy. We've seen how they've been going really hard on this whole digital deluxe bullshit. We've seen just, like, speaking of, like, the fucking shockingly laughable fucking marketing of Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition with that list of stuff it includes. Like, Sega are too comfortable with that too, where they're like, oh, 5 unique islands, but we actually really meant 3. Or like, oh, it's got the Sonic Superstars has 12 zones, but it actually has 11. The 12th one is just Bridge Island, but with a dragon in it.
There's
like,
4 islands, 4 unique islands, and there's not.
I'm getting so sick of Sega going, well, technically. I'm like, no, enough with the technically. Just
take the little white lies. Yeah.
Yeah, like, go hard
again,
go home.
Mr. Terry Chaos in the chat with, like, literally every piece of knowledge that I'm not thinking of. Great point again. Crossworlds is a live service. I mean, not like entirely, of course, but like it's a service, a live service game in some regard with ongoing DLC purchases. Frontiers and Rhino Remastered are not. So they want you to buy the second copy to make more money on that. Whereas Crossworlds, they want you to update because they know you're not going to buy the DLC multiple times. That's probably what it is.
Well, yeah, like, sorry, just with Crossworlds, I just think the whole rollout, like, I didn't really agree with the pricing of it, but the whole rollout was at least better than this. Like, but, like, Crossworlds was more expensive than it needed to be. We have seen that Sega do get greedy. Superstars, it did not need to be that price. Not in the fucking slightest did it need to be $60 when it released.
Forgot it was. Did I buy
Yeah.
that one? I can't actually remember if I got a code or if I bought it. I think I bought Superstars.
I bought it twice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Thank
It's
you.
rough.
So what happened was, I pre-ordered it for like Steam and was like, okay, well, yeah, it's gonna have mods, right? Like, so get it on Steam. Then I saw that the comic skins, the little cel-shaded ones, were Amazon exclusive. So I was like, all right, you've twisted my arm. I'll get a Switch version on there.
You got me.
I was like, I could play it on the go, okay. And I was like, oh, why would I want to play this on the go? But okay, so
it's been a weird day for talking about this because I've been really racking my brain, but it really just does come down to money, like everything else in the world.
I mean, they are a business, but they've just been way too mask off this time. Like,
it's so strange that as Sega gets more greedy, Sonic Team gets more benevolent and friendly.
Well, I
it's
think
very
what's
weird
happened
how that's
is,
working.
as Sonic Team have improved their quality, Sega have gotten a bit overzealous. They've overreacted and gone, we could sell this for kidneys. Like, you know, like that's what's happened.
I feel like they could sell the kidneys for money. I think it's like, oh,
But
nice.
You sell it for the kidneys, sell the kidneys for the money, and then you get the money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, no Winter Rain. They were Amazon exclusive in the UK. All right. We don't have Kroger over here. More countries than just the US. Okay. But okay. I want to talk about the modern collection. Do you know what's in this?
The only thing I know is that it contains Sonic Forces.
Yeah. So, bear in mind that these are Switch 2 collections. All right. From everything I understand, these are Switch 2 collections, and these collections will both retail at $50. So, the modern Sonic collection, it's so funny when you think of all the things you'd like for a modern Sonic collection. Like, you know, the adventure games.
Can I tell you what I expect that to be before you tell me?
Mm-hmm.
A modern Sonic collection to me in today's day and age would be Sonic X Shadow Generations, Forces, and Colors Ultimate. That's what I would expect it to be. Not what I would want, but that's what I would expect it to be.
All right, well, I'll give you the rundown. You get Sonic Forces. Yep. You got one. The second one included is indeed Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Okay.
Now, what do you think the third game on this Nintendo Switch 2 $50 releasing in October would be?
The way you're setting me up here makes me think it's not Sonic X Shadow Generations, which would make the most sense. What else is there that's modern on these consoles already? I don't even...
It's Sonic Frontiers. So, after
it's not even the upgrade one. You don't even get the upgrade. You don't even get the good version.
No, I think it might be the upgrade one. I'm not sure, but here's the thing: if it's not, that's hilarious. If it is, that's just as hilarious because it means that the definitive edition released at $50 in June of 2026, only for it to be re-released as part of a 3-pack for the exact same price mere months later in October.
It's not going to be the definitive edition either, because they would say that it's Sonic Frontiers definitive edition. And if it's going to all consoles, then it's not the definitive edition because it's only on Switch 2.
Well, in that case, then
that's fucking crazy.
So if it's a Switch,
what are you talking about?
What are we doing here? If it's a Switch,
oh my god. If I'm missing something, I apologize with this, but like that just sounds so like, hey, what do we have in the back we could just shove together?
No, literally, like, just wrap some fucking tape around it. But it's like, Shadow Generations would surely have been... Fuck,
are these Switch exclusive? Are these Switch collections?
What's that, sorry?
Are they only Switch collections, or are they on everything?
Switch. I think, so... there really does... okay, so Terry thinks he reckons it might be a Switch 1 collection. If it's a Switch 1 collection, on both parties, then there's a new question. All of these games are already available on all of these consoles. Why do we need this? This isn't really a port, is it? Like,
technically, because you get them all at the same time. But like, the thing that bugs me is the fucking. It's the definitive edition again. Like, if you're gonna do that, include the best part of it. If not, why would I want that?
I'm seeing
I
Game
don't
Fan
get it,
with the
like-
all caps saying, "It's not definitive! There's no additional content besides the DLC!" Are we
No,
referring
yeah, don't yell
to...
at us. We know. Yeah.
Are we referring to... Are we referring to the definitive edition not being definitive, or the version in the port? Not even port, because it's a console it's already available on. Fuck, this is ridiculous. This is just really stupid.
It's really funny. I'm having a great time.
No, but,
That's
okay, so Mr. Terry Chaos says like they bundled Super Monkey Ball and Sonic Mania in a similar way, and again, that's fair. But there's like, why is this getting announced on the 35th anniversary like it's a big deal?
I mean, they did, listen, to be fair, they did tell us before the thing started, and again, people are going to hype it up, overhype it anyway, because that's what Sonic fans do. They did say in a post before it started, hey, we're not announcing anything insane. Like, we are not announcing the next big project. We're not doing that. So I understand that, like, these things are not meant to be, like, the most incredible ports or the most incredible whatever. But my problem with it is that, like, it just feels like we're going in circles a little bit. Like, okay, so we get this definitive edition. Okay, but we're not going to give it out in this definitive collection of ports that we're putting out. Like, and if it's only for the Switch 1, it goes back to the whole thing where it's like, oh, well, there's no upgrade path for any of these games, so why the fuck would we make a Switch 2 collection?
Yeah, like, play the worst version of these games. Or,
it's
better
just
yet,
money. It's just a money thing again. It is a good deal. Like, I will give you that. Like, if you don't own any of these games, it's a good deal to get those 3 games in a collection. I would do that if I didn't have them.
I'll say this. I don't think the collections are really the problem. I think the definitive edition is the problem.
I'm not going to pass the collections completely not being a problem. But, like, I think the classic one is fine. That's absolutely fine. This modern collection has value to it. But I guess now it's like, it's just the confusion of like, oh yeah, I got Sonic Frontiers on Switch, and your friend goes, oh, do you mean like the original version, the version that's in the bundle, or the Switch 2 one? And it's like, no, I only have the Switch 1 version. And they're like, oh, is that the one with the...
Imagine.
It's like when Nintendo made the new 3DS, you know, when they were like, you know, you go into GameStop, you're like, could I please get a used new 3DS, please? Like, that's what it feels like to me.
Well,
like, it's just stupid shit and like weird marketing and... Not the marketing, sorry. Weird idea.
I just imagine there's some kid out there on the school playground, and like he's like, "Oh, I love Sonic Frontiers," and his friend's like, "Hey, did you know they made a definitive edition?" And then like he spends years begging his mum for a Switch 2 because he wants to see all of what the definitive edition adds, and then gets it, and then finds out it's just improved poppin'.
I would honestly though these days. I don't know how much of a problem that would be specifically, because, like, maybe when we were kids, that might have been an issue. Because, like, I wouldn't think when I was a child to go check out the internet and see what it was about, because that was a lot less, like, actually, doing that on the internet at that point. These days, I don't imagine a child would not understand they could Google something. But...
It's true. Like,
maybe they won't.
I'm saying it like a really whimsical...
they'll go, hey, ChatGPT, could you please explain to me how to think and feel, and also what Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition is?
Hey, Grok,
and then ChatGPT goes, oh, yeah,
Edition?
Yeah.
Hey, Grok,
the hell is that? It's, you know what it is? It's kind of like in SpongeBob when Mr. Krabs is, not threatening, when Mr. Krabs is promising to build the Krabby Land theme park the entire episode, and then when they finally show it off, it's just it's like a bunch of cans on strings and like a bunch of rusty slides and shit.
And like the little
that's what Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition is. It's like, you promised me Krabby the Clown, and all I got was Chippy the Cheapskate.
Oh jeez. Did you hear?
This is not, again, I want to point out, because we are being extremely hyperbolic about a lot of this, but like I am kind of stunned about just some of this stuff that I didn't hear about. I do not blame anyone working on Frontiers. I don't blame anyone on Sonic Team, literally any of those people. It is absolutely a wider Sega decision to do all this weird shit because they know it's going to result in making more money for them. Which is a shame. That's all I mean, of course, that's all they care about because they're a company, but
I think
things in this world right now are so anti-consumer as they are. It just sucks to see it continue to happen and get worse.
You just like, I think the thing is, at least for like the classic and modern collection, they could have just not really announced those. Like, it's like, when you could get like a pack with like Team Sonic Racing and Sonic Mania in it or something. Like, like those weren't like big announcements or like things that like they, said were coming. They just happen. You just, see it on a store shelf. Like, they put those two together. Cool. Yeah, like it's just not something to advertise. I don't think not having a major game announcement was the end of the world, because I think we're going to get one inevitably. Like,
yeah, no, it was just, and also they didn't do the thing that other companies or like Jeff Keighley would do, where they're like, you better watch and see. Like, they're not even insinuating that it was going to be.
Yeah, they were honest and upfront.
Like, a big thing. It was more about like they wanted to focus on the fact that they were raising money for charity, which I think is a great move, because like that is if you're going to be raising money for charity, that should be the focus. But like Sonic fans looked at that and they went, donate to the children. What have the children ever done for me? Another Mr. Krabs quote.
Yeah, or then the other ones that
they were just looking for Sonic Frontiers 2, basically, some of these people.
Or then the other ones that are like, boycott the children's charity event because someone made a joke about a politician. Snitches get stitches, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but okay.
Oh, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, why don't we not get into that, probably? I don't want to talk about politicians ever, if we can help it.
Oh, no, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah. It's a story with cool people and lame people, but basically, what was happening was there were these people that were saying... Hold on, wait,
I just wanted to mention for Game Fan, I don't know if you weren't here earlier, but we did kind of touch on the Definitive Edition thing. Technically, there's not a real point for Frontiers because all the content was free anyway after launch, but Definitive Edition is a term that they use, like other companies will use when they republish a game after a couple years with all the DLC intact. And typically it is paid content that they bundle in there, but they drop the price down to like usually base price. So it's like you are getting a good bang for your buck there. As we talked about with this, Frontiers does not have any paid content, so calling it Definitive Edition comes off as a little bit like narcissistic, I would say. Yeah. But
it's the Definitive Edition. We've improved popping. Maybe we fixed the subsurface scattering. I don't know. If anyone finds that out, if anyone has the game, can you tell me? Like, I'd love to know. You can DM me on Twitter. Just be an adult. I don't want to talk to anyone below a certain age. Okay.
I have no idea if anyone actually knows what subsurface scattering is, because I really don't even know that much.
Glowing on Sonic's tummy patch and skin and stuff. Okay, so did you hear the new song that they put out on the 35th anniversary live stream?
No, I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, so basically at the start of it...
I watched to see my pals, and I was kind of like, okay, that's all.
There was like a countdown thing, and then they had a new song by Jin Sonoy and Nate Wants to Battle with lyrics written by T. Lopes. And it's kind of like, it includes like different riffs and stuff from existing Sonic tracks, but like puts them into like a new song, basically, to kind of, do a nice little rap over and thing. And it's better than the last time they tried to do something like that, when like Crush 40 did Sonic Youth, and it's like, well, I lived and learned, well, I opened my heart, and then I did a big Sonic.
I'll give them that. I did like that song a bit. Like, that song's fun for like nostalgia's sake. But was that actually commissioned by Sega, or did they just do that on their own?
I think that's one of their own things. But like, I don't know. I find that one is a bit too far for me. But like, and it's also just not. I really thought that was gonna be like 40.
The Sonic Generations ending credits theme, because that would have just been perfect.
No, you know what would have been perfect? Would have been the Crush 40 and Cash cover of Sonic Boom. Because you've got modern, classic, and Dreamcast all in one song.
I do kind of like the lyrics for some part, though. Like now don't you worry, it's a never-ending story. And, like, it's got some good, unique lyrics in there, too, I would say.
Well, I think the new one, which is called Speed Is My Life, which is actually a way worse name, I do enjoy the song a lot. And I have to say, like, for the vocal tracks, I do like this genre of kind of symphonic rock that Sonic is going for lately, where you've got rock and orchestral elements. I like that. That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's a nice song. I'm actually also really happy to see that, like, Nate Wants to Battle still gets to do things with Sega. I saw some people be like, oh, no more Nate. I'm just like, God, Sonic fans cannot handle their own kind getting anything, can they? Like,
that's kind of upsetting to hear that people are doing that, because that guy has been on YouTube doing parody. Like, I think he started out with parody songs, then he moved to doing a lot of like covers, and like he's got a great voice. And when he put out his
got
song,
like a similar
like,
dynamic range to like Patrick Stump. I'm pretty sure dynamic range is the right term. Tonal range.
Tonal range, I don't know, but like when he put out his Sonic album, I thought it was awesome. I loved that shit. It was really good. I prefer some of those to not, I guess not to the originals, but I do really like his voice. And when he got to actually be a part of the first ever, like the live stream symphony thing to sing City Escape, I think it was. Or no, was it
Endless Possibilities?
I was like, oh shit, there he is. I was like, it's Nate, that's awesome. And then even more so, he gets to do a song, like a completely original song for Frontiers, which is already such a triumph as it is. Like, that was cool. Like, that hits really hard, because it's like, wow, that is a fan who has loved this for, I'm sure, a long time, followed his dreams. He didn't let people like push him down, and now he's working with the company that makes this thing that he likes. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's how I feel about everybody who gets to work with a company, or, you know, people that they cherish in that regard. Like, people being upset about it is just, if you don't like his voice, you don't like his voice. I'm not going to say anything about that. Like, that's obviously up to you.
But like, people making a big
But if
fuss
it's just the fact that, like, oh, this guy again, like, get this guy, like, just shut up. Why don't you go read a book?
He's only done a couple of songs. Like, do you think like,
do
you think people in like, 2001 when they heard Johnny Gioeli singing "Live and Learn" were like, "Oh, that fucking open your heart idiot again"? Like, what? Like, no one did that, because no one. Why? It's such a needless thing to get upset about. Of course, I am always open to keeping the door open. Keeping lots of talent. Like, yes, do get other Sonic musicians out there on your projects. Fuck it, yeah, get fucking Trey
awesome.
Nobles to compose a Sonic soundtrack. Do it.
That would be. It's funny to say this. That would be a dream come true for me to see that happen for him. I would be so happy if he 100%. Got to do that. That'd be fucking awesome.
No, he'd do wonderfully.
My goodness, he would do amazing.
But yeah, like, get Trey and stuff. I kind of feel the same with like, just like the influencer side of things as well. I think they're doing exactly the right thing in getting the influencers that they got on the streams and stuff like that. They did exactly the right right thing there. And like, you got to think, like, 10 years ago, it was like Aaron Hansen was in this kind of position. Aaron Hansen was kind of your Sonic ambassador. Now it's people like Games Cage and Sam and just the gang.
And Corone. Actually, is Corone still doing stuff? I don't know. That's actually, that's a good point. Hold on. Frontiers Definitive Edition does not include any of the Corone DLC, and it also doesn't include.
It gets better.
Like the other Sonic thing that came with, like the Sonic Cocos or whatever.
It doesn't come with the emote. But okay, so the Corona DLC is interesting. If you transfer your save data over to the Switch 2 version, the Definitive Edition, so you could transfer that, you lose all Corona Inugami DLC.
That's strange. I wonder if that's probably like a rights thing. They probably had to renegotiate that, and they were like, nah, it's probably not worth renegotiating or something.
Yeah, but like, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I think what we've got going on right now is excellent, and it's also cool to see that they've been expanding that out a little bit as well, with like some of the streamers that they had. I want them to keep doing that, because it can be sometimes that it's all kind of like the same circle, and that's fine. I don't want these people out. I just want more people in with them. That's, just inclusivity is what I'm advocating for here, above all else, and I think they're getting better with it. And then,
they're definitely looking out and seeing more people as opposed to, going with Aaron Hansen.
No, so that is kind of also way too big of an elephant in the room here for me to not ignore. There was an actual...
have a thing about Aaron, at least a little tiny bit. I know he's not the elephant in the room anymore, but like, to me, the Aaron Hansen thing was, and I don't mean disrespect on Aaron Weber either, but like, to me, the Aaron Hansen thing was like hey, I'm Aaron Weber, and I work at Sega, and if I go talk to the Game Grumps, they'll talk to me because I work at Sega. And I think that might have been like part of it. Like, I think he just really liked the Game Grumps and was like, yeah, let's just bring him in. You know, like, I want to talk to the Game Grumps.
Possibly,
and like,
but I
of
think
course,
there was
his whole thing for
also-
Sonic was like all meta and jokey anyway. So
Yes.
like,
I think it fed into the
Yeah.
whole so ironic thing that Sonic was leaning into. I mean, at that point, come 2010s, Sega were making jokes about like Sonic 06 on social media and stuff like that. They even straight up said that Colors was the time Sonic finally found his footing in 3D. When every adventure fan's like, go fuck yourself. But, like, it's like, yeah, it was the cool thing to be irreverent and ironic and to look completely unself-interested, to be like, yeah, you know, we do the Sonic, but it's not a big deal. It's kind of stupid. Like, that was what they were kind of doing, and a lot of franchises were doing that. The 2020s, generally, across the board, has brought a lot of sincerity back into a lot of, like, media stuff, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, like... But as for the live stream, though, there is something that you can't not kind of talk about this with this live stream, because there was a big, genuine boycott raid attempt against this thing. Basically, I'm not going to name names, but there was a person in that got accepted into like a Sega community thing that was very outspoken about kind of punching out at, like, you know, trans people and minorities and stuff like that, like genuinely like out of their way to be a dick to them, and people pointed this out. And
I did hear about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
people pointed
That's
out.
different than the birthday
Well, no,
live stream
this
thing.
is kind of an origin story though. So
Yeah, this is before that. Okay, I just wanted to be clear about that. This is not the same exact thing. Yeah.
So this idiot basically assembles the dumbest people you've ever seen on the planet. Now, I'm not saying that this person instigated it, but then suddenly there was like a counter movement. Oh, if this influencer is bad and is not allowed in for saying awful things about people who are in marginalized groups, then this influencer shouldn't be in for making an off-color joke about the president. So, okay. Immediately, that's fucking stupid. But the fact is, these guys were like, yeah, boycott a live stream made to promote a charity. All because someone that was on it made an off-color joke about the president one time, who I'm pretty sure couldn't give a fuck either way. Like, so the fact that this boycott attempt was going on, there was all this talk of we're going to raid the stream. If you look back at the VOD, if you look at the chat, I mean, if you were there on the day, fuck all happened. They didn't show up. It was nothing but people in there engaging with the stream, talking about Sonic, talking about the charity, people donating. They fucking failed it. They absolutely failed it. When I praised the stream in my video about it the other day, I had people in the comments saying, oh, but someone on the stream endorses something that would kill the population, burying the lead. And it's like every one of these idiots buried the lead. And I'm like, the fact you had to bury the lead like this. Ugh.
I don't mean to jump to a completely different thing, but I just sent you something in your DMs that Epic Games just posted, and it seems like they're finally actually confirming Sonic for Fortnite.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of neat. Yeah, look at what I sent you.
Oh my god, I shared this and I completely misreacted. So I
it's by
saw
the
this
official
not
Epic Games account,
realizing...
so it seems like Sonic might be happening, which is, about fucking time.
Not necessarily. Hold on.
I mean, they could just be buddies. Who knows? I'm not sure. But like, even if they're buddies, that's kind of
about
fun.
it. Think about it. They sell Sonic games on the Epic Games Store, and it says check out Sonic the Hedgehog's 35th anniversary sale in pinned comment. So I think they're just advertising that they got games on the store.
If they are, that's really mean.
Yeah, plenty of other. I mean, Sony have done it. I've seen plenty of other companies putting Happy Birthday Sonic. Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. There's another one. Oh, wait, hold on. I found this thing. It's another thing. It says new encrypted skin found in. Wait, is this real?
All right. Okay. All right.
I can't tell if this is real or not. This is just some person posting stuff, but it says via Spush FNBR and man named Wonka. I don't know if those are like leakers or something, but it says new encrypted skin in Fortnite, and the silhouette is very Sonic-y. Like and it looks skin sized, like he's stretched out a bit. Here, this one. I don't know if this is like directly out of files or something, but this could be interesting. This would be something I'd probably play Fortnite for another like couple days if this happened or something.
Oh no, definitely. But when I saw that, oh yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it does look like they're teasing a Sonic, but that is not necessarily like a verified source.
Yeah, no, I don't know who the sources are.
But he does have Fortnite proportions there, so you know.
I don't hate that idea. Like it seems like his shoes look kind of big, which makes sense to kind of like pad some of the height. But like his legs are, it almost looks like a large classic Sonic, which is weird.
I don't know how this works given that he's naked, but it feels like two Sonics in a duffel coat. Like
it's like a Sega Sonic Bros. It's those three little Sonics sitting on each other's shoulders.
I can imagine like the Amazing Digital Circus thing, is someone just grabs him and just stretches him and just like, there you go, get in the game. But yeah, when I saw the Epic Games post, I didn't realize it was Epic Games, so I didn't think for a second about Fortnite. So I just quote tweet this with the caption, "Man, Sonic THC pens would go hard." They just look like disposables. Like
the Sonic Speed cartridge.
Well, no, whoa, hold on a minute. You gotta be careful what you're putting in these things, man.
Yeah, it's like blue raspberry marijuana.
Also, there's a bit of news regarding Endless Possibility as well, because Otani has kind of answered the question regarding what's actually up with the rights about, you know, Endless Possibility, because I think there was concern about it not being on like the album and stuff like that, and he just wanted to answer, and the answer is that Endless Possibility, as it currently is, the contract that they have, they can't put it in a new game. They can't like take the song and put it in a brand new game. However, if they were to port Sonic Unleashed, they could. I think that might change if it's a remaster. However, Otani has said that they could do revised versions of it, new versions. Like you got the Symphony version, for example. So that's kind of where that's at, really. Like, yeah.
It's interesting. It's like all these the music rights are kind of funny to me because like every time we turn around, there's another thing happening where it's like, oh, sorry, we don't own that. And it's like, do you guys?
Well, yeah, no, they don't write a contract.
You make? Like
they don't write a contract. Just go like, hey there, buddy, you want to make some music for us?
I would rather have, I guess, the artists own the track because then they can keep, you know, making stuff off of it because obviously they're so beloved. I wouldn't want the company to just completely own all of that. That kind of sucks if they can't, you know, use the songs for what they want to use them for or make extra money off covers or whatever. But at the same time, it is very funny that like you don't see a whole lot of other companies with problems like that. Like Mario. Well, I guess Mario's a bad example, but like what else has like vocal themes? Like The World Ends With You. Well, how about that one? That's probably a good example. Could you imagine if every time they ported The World Ends With You, which I'm sure you have no idea what I'm talking about, Pup, but like if every time they ported The World Ends With You and instead of doing a remix of the songs from the original game, which they did because it was like, let's update the songs a bit just for like a more modern time. Imagine if they were just completely different songs every time because everyone who made the song like in the first game was like owning the original rights. Like it seems like a company would be like, hey, no. Like we want to own those, I think. So it always makes me wonder if Sega and Sonic Team are more like, hey, we're going to work with you instead of you being like the person who made this music for us.
Well,
but then we have stuff like Johnny with the lawsuit and stuff, and it's like, okay, clearly, like they didn't, like who knows what they're doing? Because like you know, Johnny thought it was only used in one game or something, and then Sega was like, no,
game
use it everywhere.
Once in a while, not like leasing it out to like Nintendo and shit to put in like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games or Smash, but like, you know, I like the idea of creators retaining the rights to their own stuff. But I think for a company like Sega trying to make a franchise like this, well, you need to have your ducks in a row. You need to have your shit together.
I think the funniest thing is that Dreams Comes True still has like access to like all the
like
the Sonic ones. Like Green Hill is the most famous fucking song in video gaming, almost like one of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we can't really use that all the time because, you know,
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, yeah.
it's weird. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, especially not for the artists, but it's very weird that it continues to happen like that.
Also, we do just have a little bit of breaking news, actually.
Aside from Fortnite.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily like the news is there's new artwork by Evan Stanley for the Emerald anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. We got two new
nice.
lovely art pieces here. It's quite funny because yeah, the art pieces absolutely no notes. They are gorgeous in my opinion. I put them up on the stream so you can see them there, Dilnor.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me center that horizontally so I don't get upset. So yeah, there's two new Sonic artworks, one called Forms and one called Friends. So one depicting Sonic's different forms and one depicting Sonic's different friends. And the Friends one is absolutely lovely, like with the people that they've included here. Like you've got Tikal, you've got Marine, REM, Elise is in there. Elise.
No, we have Shara and Merlina as well. That's wild.
Yep.
That's great. I love this art. Also, on the forms section, very interesting that Classic Sonic is counted as a form, because they usually try and keep those guys separate now.
Yeah, they also included Dinky Baby Boy Sonic, which I love. But the forms one has one thing that makes me very angry at Sega.
Okay.
But not at Evan Stanley. So, we know that Sega embargoes things, right? They're like, you can't use this. You can't use that. They have restrictions on things.
Yeah.
And like fans have been one of the things that have been embargoed was Hypersonic. And fans have been like, "Oh, we want to see Hypersonic again. Oh, we love Hypersonic. Oh, give me Hypersonic, Hypersonic." And it's like, here we have
embargo something that like runs out after a while. I thought Hypersonic was just like off the table. I thought that was just like locked away in a vault, basically.
It's from what I understand, don't quote me on this, you're not allowed to use him.
Yeah, so isn't an embargo something that's like a timed hold on something?
No. So
or is
it's
that,
right.
Am I wrong?
No, it's embargoed just at the discretion of the higher ups at Sonic Team. I would imagine this is probably something that falls onto Izuka's shoulders, but basically like the direction of the franchise and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like Izuka basically does get the say so on like who they do and don't include, provided they have the legal rights. But also, I mean, like, Sega also do have to approve things as well from the top down, so it is still quite muddy. I don't want to pin things on one guy. But what kind of pisses me off here is, like, with the Sonic Rewind thing, is, like, there's so many things where it's like there's these elephants in the room, and it's like, look, guys, we're making a mural dedicated to Sonic's forms over the years, and it includes everyone but Hypersonic. And it's like, why? Why is Hypersonic not here? This is the perfect opportunity.
It's because he would be too sparkly and shiny, and he might give people seizures on the shirt.
Right, but then it's also like Sega keep doing this. I really feel sympathetic towards like Hypersonic fans, but also like Freedom Fighter fans, because they'll be like, oh, we're gonna be doing Sonic and stuff. It's like, oh, I hope I see the Freedom Fighters. Like, well, that can't happen because that's a separate continuity, you know. And then they'll be like, oh, but our next game takes place in the multiverse. Ooh, oh, maybe we can see the Freedom Fighters then, because that makes sense. Nope. Our new TV show takes place in the multiverse, and there's a team of freedom fighters going up against the Chaos Council.
Please stop! You're killing me. Every time you talk as a Sonic executive, you keep getting more and more severe, like Muppet voice acting, and it keeps going off the rails, and it's killing me. It's like it started off as just you were a flat Kermit the Frog, and now you're like Fozzie Bear screeching. Oh my god, where's a Hypersonic? He doesn't exist. Waka Waka, or whatever the fuck.
I just love the idea that, like, the next year Sega's gonna be like, hey guys, we've got a new thing dedicated entirely to Sonic's TV shows, tune in. And then they're like, Sonic X released in 2003, and then Sonic Prime released.
That is more Marvin the Martian. Maybe right, yeah.
I'm becoming Glenn from Superstore. You ever see that show?
No, but I've heard of. I would like it.
He's like the store manager, and he's like the sweetest guy. But I want to know what creative decision occurred that made them go put on that voice to the actor. He's so funny. But no, like, again, like, don't get it twisted. The artwork is wonderful. I'm just waiting for next year Sega will be like, guys, it's Freedom Week. Here are the top 10 characters who love freedom and fight for freedom. Amy Rose, Lanolin the Sheep, Sonic, Tails. They keep doing this. They can't keep getting away with it.
Good old salty Prince Salty A crust. You know, we're like, who the fuck is that? What do you mean? Prince Salty A crust, huh?
Salty A crust. Sonic is just like,
Close
whoa,
enough.
no chipmunks exist in my dimension. Whoa.
Chipmunk?
I don't know
Like
what that is.
what kind of thing is that?
I don't know what that is, but I sure don't care. Whoa. All right.
God damn it. I don't. Again, art. Yeah, obviously, again, all of that was not about the art. The art is actually fucking
No, yeah,
gorgeous.
the art is fucking fantastic.
The way that the light, specifically the way the light coming off the emerald is like just so softly glowing on all these characters. And I also really like the idea of, obviously one of them's friends and forms, but like the forms one, every Sonic is very like all over this Chaos Emerald. They're all like, I need that, I want that, because it's like that's what they always need these. It's always like associated with the forms. But I like that none of the ones in Sonic and Friends are even bothering with the Chaos Emerald, because my friends are my power.
Oh, that's nice.
And Emerald's there. Yeah, Emerald's there too. I just noticed. Yeah, that's my guy.
I said that earlier. I will say.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening.
Do you see why this is a problem? For the forms one though. You know what also surprises me? Okay, I can't say it's everyone but Hypersonic because Supersonic 2 isn't here. But then again, is
how would you differentiate that in a drawing?
You put a little red line around him, but that would look terrible. I mean, is Supersonic 2 just an extension of Supersonic? Or is he a separate form?
He's a form for Supersonic, so he just
Supersonic
count, I
gets
guess.
his own super form.
I mean, that's what it is, technically. I mean, in Dragon Ball, they have stuff like that too, where like in Dragon Ball Super, the most infamous version of this kind of talk about forms on forms on forms is in the manga for a good while. My favorite fucking thing ever is that when they unlock what we now know as Super Saiyan Blue, what happens is Super Saiyan Blue is a godly form, or it's a technically they get this thing called Super Saiyan God, where they have God energy. They can't use their regular Super Saiyan forms because they're not the same. But then later on in the manga, they discover that they can apply Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan God, and it makes the red hair blue for whatever reason, which I mean, I like blue, obviously, so I'm fine with it. But the fucking amazing thing is that in the manga, for a while, they ran with the name, oh yeah, no, we just discovered this form. We're calling it Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. It's like, what? Why would you call it that? What are you talking about? Like, it's so funny.
I do love
like, and especially in a manga when you have less space, like you need to make sure your words count everywhere. It's like you're throwing around Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. It's like, funny. Come on, man. And I'm not bashing Akira Toriyama for that, obviously, but I find it very funny that I mean, I guess in the manga it's black and white for the most parts. They couldn't really calling it Super Saiyan Blue kind of feels weird because you're not seeing the color until they released the colored version of the manga, which I think they did do that. They had if I remember correctly, yeah, because like the original version would come out in black and white, and then later on they would release the colored version, and that's why people would like debate about things like Vegeta's newest form, Ultra Ego, because they were like, oh, I bet it's good.
I'm gonna sound like a complete hypocrite now. They did give like the Sad AM stuff a tiny bit of rep in the anniversary.
Oh, the birthday stream.
Yeah. Where basically there was a dude showing his like record-breaking merch collection, and it included like Freedom Fighter stuff, which did get showcased. So
yeah,
while we're not hearing an official Sega rep, you'll never hear anyone that works for Sega say the words Sally Acorn. bet on it.
Do you think what if when he was showing off the collection? Because I know there's a scene that people were freaking out about. They took a picture of like literally Sally Acorn is shown on the stream in that little collection, and people were like, "Sally, yeah!" Could you imagine if they had to like blur that out? Can you imagine like we can't show that? Confused,
Like,
they'll try and ask
you
who
are
that is.
making a point here, like, well, to be fair, I once went for a tour of the Sega London offices, and as you get through the door, if you try and say the word Sally Acorn, it censors you automatically. Like, so while you're in the building, anytime you try to say that word, it censors you. You try to say the word hypersonic, it censors you. It's like, you can't do it.
Kicks you out.
Yeah.
You will be escorted out, and you will never be allowed on the premises again. If you try to return, we will use deadly force. And you're like, oh.
I just want to see, like, not Jun Senoi. I want to see Takashi Iizuka step up to this podium looking all emotional and weepy going, guys, look, the reason we can't bring back Sally is because, and he starts breaking, she's naked.
She has plenty of designs that aren't.
Yes, but those are actually not owned by Sega.
They don't own the Archie redesigns?
They own pre-reboot Archie redesigns, which is fine. That's fine by me.
That's weird to think that they own the character but not a redesign of the character. That's very weird to me.
It's quite bizarre, isn't it? Also, KB, I'm seeing you. I'm going to read that at the end, obviously. But do you reckon you could drop me a link to that? It can be on Discord DMs or something. If you could drop me a link.
New character bios. Oh.
Yeah, because I'm intrigued to see what they're saying, like how they're presenting these characters. Yeah, literally told the Archie team to put pants on her. Well, that's the thing, right? He's not. That's why he can't bring her back, because she's naked.
He's naked.
He's realized that they don't own the version of the design that has pants. So, like, yeah.
You telling me if you put pants on a character, it makes them different enough to copyright?
That's not a no. It's
That's
not a copyright
crazy.
Issue. It's not a copyright issue. Sega owned them.
I thought we were just saying they don't own that design. Isn't that the same thing?
Oh no. So right, the pants design. No, Sega doesn't own the pants design. So the pants design's a bit different.
That's what I mean. That's like, what if I put Sonic in a pair of pants? Do I own him now? That sucks.
No. So it's not just the pants. And it's not like, so Archie can't still use that design, but they own that design, but they can't use the character, you know? They could give another character that design, I guess, but like...
Wait, I thought they did own the character.
No, Archie
Don't they own all the art?
No.
Oh, not Archie. No, I thought we were talking about Sega. You see how fucked
Sega...
this is? I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Sega owns the Freedom Fighters, is what I'm saying. But they don't own certain designs for them, so they can't use those designs. But the people who have the designs...
Sorry, guys. We can't put Sally in pants, because then Archie would get mad at us.
I mean, there's plenty of other ways they could put her in pants. But, like... I still just like to believe...
Pants! Like, what are
I
we
just
talking
like to believe
about?
that this is... I just like to believe that, as far as Azuka's concerned, she was given the honorary pants as a means to an end in the comic, but really he wanted her dead the second he saw that chip mussy.
Okay, I hate that you said that. But I have to point out also that Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Silver, and most people in this franchise don't wear pants. And it's... I don't know. I get it. I get the somewhat dilemma there. I understand that there is a difference between Sonic and Sally Acorn. I get it.
Also, Winter Rain also brings up quite a good point here. So, like, the most well-known is that, like, so, you know Nicole the HoloLinks from Archie Sonic?
Yes.
She's also in Sad AM, she was a little computer, like a little calculator that Sally talked to. But in the comics, they made her this woman, and she...
Yeah, she has a physical form, sort of.
Yes, and she dated Shard for a bit, the who Mecha Sonic would go on to become, before he was killed by Metal Sonic.
No, I kind of... Yeah, no, the original Metal Sonic becomes Shard. Shard has a thing with Nicole, and then they fucking kill Shard off.
It's a good story for Shard. Like, I mean, I
love
it was
him, though.
Yeah, he's great. Like...
I have a connection to him too, because he was on a team with Silver, the Secret Freedom Fighters, for a bit.
I edited this video for Game Apologist about it way back when, and I was just like editing, like seeing like the panels and stuff. I was like, oh man, this is cool. Like I like that they did this. I even like that like Metal Sonic himself got some like really kooky like designs for like the early like Archie stuff. Like especially when it was like there's a bit in the video where like Nick is like, okay, well we're in the modern period. Surely he's gonna come out with an accurate design, and he still comes out with a redesign.
So that Metal Sonic stuff is really gutting because like the original Metal Sonic gets trashed, gets destroyed. He works through all his issues. He becomes a better person. I think Sonic's uncle actually fixes him up initially.
I think also killing Shard was Sega
becomes a really great guy.
Thing.
Oh, Sega,
it was part of the cleanup.
Please mandate kill me already, please.
It was part of the cleanup. Yeah, can you just mandate yourselves out of this? To be honest, like, come on, at this point, like. Because,
gosh,
I don't know, there's the Charmy Bee thing as well. It's just really funny. Like, that was one of the first instances of Sega taking a quick look at the comics and going, wait, what?
Oh, is that like all of his angst or whatever? Like how he was a prince or some shit? Like, they were like, don't do that, make him boring.
Oh, no, do you not know the tragedy of Archie Charmy?
Doesn't his girlfriend get killed right in front of him or something?
Oh no! Okay, I'll tell you the story. It won't be long. Okay, so throughout Archie comics, Charmy grew up. Yes, he's a prince, and he married. Like he became an adult bee, basically.
I didn't realize he was married. I thought they were just dating.
And he still had his original Charmy Bee design. He was just adult coded now, basically. Like, and that was just how they had treated the character. They were treated as the two Loverbird bees. But one day, Dr. Robotnik...
Loverbird bees.
Well, lover bees. One day, Dr. Robotnik creates the egg grapes, which is a new prison system that also drains the person inside of the grape of all of their like life force and energy very gradually, basically, to power up.
Oh God!
To power up his own device. Yeah, Archie Eggman didn't fuck around.
Yeah, no, he's a bad man.
So Charmy is one of the victims of this, and Sonic and the crew come to Charmy's rescue. Now, Sega's mandate was that he needs to be reverted back to his child self. So what happened? His life force was sapped out to the point that it reverted him back to a childlike state in his mind. So he is an adult bee with basically the mind of a 6-year-old, married to... and then his wife becomes more like his carer later on.
Oh.
And so that was the first part. So Charmy was the first victim of the Sega crackdown. But he was also a victim once again when it came to like the kind of the Super Genesis Wave reboot stuff. In that, Charmy's wife was one of the people to get snatched because it was a big cleanup. It was
to
like
get erased
from
history.
Yeah. So yeah, they got rid of her. So Charmy then has to contend with that, and there's a bit where you see him talk to like Vector and Espio, and he doesn't actually understand what's going on, and they're just like, "Oh, geez, poor kid."
It's so existentially fucked up in so many ways.
Fucked.
Like that, like instead of Sega going, "Oh, you know what? Maybe that's that first part." Like what? Really? That's so. That's
fucked.
Insane.
It's absolutely fucked, and I love it.
That's
all right. So
crazy.
Katie has sent me the character bios, by the way. So shall we read these and see what we have to say about them?
Sure.
Okay. Let's start off with Tails. I think it's brave to start with Tails. Okay.
Okay.
So, Miles Tails Prower is a kind-hearted young fox with 2 tails. By spinning them like propellers, he can fly in the sky. Tails is a brilliant inventor, mechanic, and pilot. He used to be bullied about his tails until a chance encounter with Sonic changed his life forever. One look at the Hedgehog's blazing speed filled Tails with inspiration, and the fox took off after Sonic without a second thought. Since then, Sonic and Tails have shared countless adventures together, leveling up Tails' courage and confidence. Though Sonic still sees him as a lovable sidekick, Tails is growing into a hero in his own right. His smarts and skills make him an excellent teammate who's always there to lift his friends up. Yeah, not bad. Could do without the crusty render, but it's not bad.
Pretty good.
What do you think? That's Tails. I think.
I mean, yeah, that's not too much different than what I used to do from what I used to, I guess. Yeah.
I think largely Tails has been well treated. All right, now for the main man himself, Knuckles the Echidna. So, Knuckles the Echidna is the steadfast guardian of the Master Emerald, living in a solitude atop the floating continent known as Angel Island. As a descendant of the Echidna tribe and the only one remaining with any degree of control over the massive gemstone's immense power, this fate falls to him alone. A student of martial arts, oh, that's fucking sick. Knuckles' fists are strong enough to shatter boulders with a single punch. He can glide through the air and climb sheer walls. Those skills are used to their fullest in those special times he's able to venture out as a world-class treasure hunter. If Sonic embodies the freewheeling mind, his friendly rival Knuckles is the immovable mountain. He's sincere, straightforward, and sometimes a little gullible. Dr. Eggman has taken advantage of these qualities in the past, yet no matter his prior mistakes, the honor-bound Knuckles always works to set things right in the end. That's a good bio for him, I think.
Puts a lot of respect on him, even mentioning the fact that he was tricked, because I like that they put a lot of his good qualifications before they talk about him getting tricked, which makes me obviously think or make anyone think, oh, he's pretty cool. Oh, okay, but who hasn't had a moment where they kind of did something, they fucked up or whatever? Like that's understandable. Like it makes him sound more reasonable than he got like tricked fucking 8 times within 4 years, because it's kind of how it happened. But no, that's good. I like that. Puts respect on him.
Yeah, I do want to see him do more martial arts style fighting in the games, though. We haven't really seen him fight martial arts style. Let me see some of that.
Yeah, that is the big difference, I would say, because I don't think they've ever really referred to him as a martial artist before.
I love the idea, though, that he's like a trained martial artist. That's awesome. Like
it's interesting too, because he really just hits things. Like he almost reminds me of like superheroes who kind of rely more on brute force than technique. But like if they do want to make him more about that like technique, I think that would be very cool. Like showing his it would also spit in the face of forces, because he was not a strategist or a martial artist whatsoever.
Like Boom, for example. Like one of the things I praised about the Boom redesign of Knuckles was that you no longer really had to take Knuckles' word for it that he's the strong one. I thought his design should communicate strength more, but if he's meant to be a martial artist, the scrappier build can actually kind of work there. I still do think he should be a little bit thicker than he is, but like he doesn't need to go full like Boom brawler build Knuckles. Movie Knuckles gets it perfect. Like that's the perfect one.
Movie Knuckles is absolutely I think the best design he's ever had, because he looks like Knuckles and he also looks noticeably larger and stronger than the rest of the cast, which is cool. Like I think that works well.
Yeah. And then we got Amy Rose. Okay, so this is the one that's gonna draw controversy, because like this is the one where Sega have been really kind of moving the needle with what this character is kind of about. And like they've very much been kind of like burying the more kind of emotionally erratic side of her and the crush on Sonic. The crush on Sonic thing, I can give or take. The erratic emotions, I miss. Like, I think those are, like, integral to what makes her fun to watch. So, as long as I don't hear any shit about her being a group mum, this will be okay. So, Amy Rose is a sweet, spunky, that word's really funny in British, and fiercely optimistic hedgehog who charges into life wearing her heart on her sleeve. Okay, good start. Inspired by Sonic, she handles trouble with decisiveness and determination, flattening foes with her trusty Pico Pico hammer. She leads with courage, stands up for her friends, and rises stronger after every battle. Okay, this is all solid so far.
I like that. Yeah.
Her resilience uplifts those even in need. Sorry, let me try that again. Her resilience uplifts those in even the most dire of circumstances. With both high standards and a deep compassion, Amy confidently strides towards a better future, one that she can share with the ones that are most dear to her. I think we're close. I think Knuckles proves what I think is the issue with this one here. But I don't think this is bad. What do you think, Dilno?
Yeah, no, I don't have any issues with that. Like, I was waiting for a drop about tarot cards. Like, when you said the future, I was like, I thought you were going to say, she's pushing towards a better future, which she can predict with her tarot cards. But, like, instead of that, they highlighted the Pico Pico hammer thing, which is you
The
know,
thing
cool.
is-
Like I'm glad that that's more of what they were focusing on. But yeah, no, I don't have any problems with that. Like that makes her sound like someone who is like actually that her bio. Not that she should just exist. Not that she exists to like prop Sonic up or anything. But it shows how inspiring Sonic is that he was able to have that effect on her, to have her actually get out there and help people and make a difference. Clearly, which is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of
Well,
like
there
Tails,
is-
actually, in a way, because Tails was inspired by Sonic to do that as well. So, I do like that connection that Sonic kind of brings people around him into, you know, like he helps them become their best selves almost, like
Sure.
to people they want to be, which I think
The
is
thing
nice.
is, I liked Knuckles' bio so much because it acknowledged Knuckles' flaws, but did it in like a dignified, like,
yeah.
it's not that he needs to change. These aren't faults. These are just flaws that he has. These are just aspects of his personality. And it was nice and it was
Yeah, he
dignified.
can work on
and
it
I
if he
think,
wants. Yeah.
and as a dude, when I see, like, you know, a guy like Knuckles have his flaws acknowledged and shit, it validates a guy like me too a little bit, you know? It's like, oh, he's a little like me, you know? I quite like that. And I think Amy could have that same effect for the girls in the crowd, if they acknowledged that she can be a little hot-headed sometimes. I mean, usually when provoked, though, you could even just mention when provoked, she can be incredibly, like, hot-headed, feisty, you know? So, like, I just kind of miss that. But, like, this isn't the worst it's ever been. Like, I like that they've, you know, included, you know, fiercely optimistic, wearing her heart on her sleeve, stuff like that, mentioning the confidence and resilience. Like, these are all things that do define the character. Yeah.
The Game Fan says, yeah, Tails acted like a coward and forces. Yeah, but we're like 12 years removed from that now. Like, obviously they're moving forward.
It could have been mentioned that Tails maybe suffers with self-doubt or anxiety.
That'd be fine.
I think that would have been nice. So I think, yeah, actually, like, acknowledging the flaws of all of the characters, like they did.
I think
with
that makes
Knuckles.
sense. I like that. That would be a great way to make them feel more. Not, I want to say more human. You know, like more fleshed out, rather, by not just making like, oh yeah, they're perfect.
Okay,
They're
so
perfect
actually,
gods. Look at them.
We're not going to do every single one of these because there's actually more than it looked. But like, we'll just do like
Can
the
you
top.
send me the link?
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
see what they have, because
We'll-
I saw KB said Zor's bio surprised me, and I did not expect Zor to have a bio whatsoever.
What do you mean Zor has a bio? I haven't seen that. Let me see. I just sent you it.
Maybe KB could have been joking.
Oh my god,
I'm
there
not
is
sure.
another Seymour. Oh my god, there's so many more. Oh my god, they've got infinite. They got everyone.
Well, you know
Oh,
what? I actually, now that I see that it's a 35th anniversary website, I actually do like that a lot. I think this is the place to talk about all those characters, even if, you know, they're not going to show up all the time, because they are
Yeah,
part of the
definitely.
history, whether we like
Oh,
it or
but
not.
they got like infinite and Mephiles. I wonder what it says there. Like,
Mephiles.
I think-
I want to read it. Mephiles, please.
oh, what if we did like just like the top few today and then did like some more next week?
Sorry, where are they? Where are these? Are they in the?
You have to hit show
The
more,
about
but you have to hit
section?
it a few times.
Wait, where? From which tab is like?
Good golly. Okay, go to about and then scroll down to where characters is and then hit show more until all of the character
Oh, I
bios
see.
appear.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh wow, they do have Chip, Gerald, Robotnik, Maria, Dodonpaw.
It's
Yeah,
good to see
Mephiles,
Chip.
the Zeddy. They have Trip and Fang in here. We have Trip sighting in 2026.
Also, you can really tell which renders are newer than others because, like, look at Wave's render and look at Cream's render.
And the Orbot and Cubot renders are the ones that have been being used forever. Yacker as well, Chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of ones that look kind of crusty compared to the other ones, which is
Yeah,
really
like
funny.
the Chow and Oma Chow have that hideous grey shading. Fucking Dodonpa looks like he's got a sunset behind him.
Kind of does. I like the
The
Supersonic
Werewolf
render.
gets a
He's
bio.
like, he's all like the fuzz around him, like all like the aura looks so crusty because that's an old ass render. Wait, is it?
Gosh.
Oh, actually, wait a
Alright,
minute. Is that new?
I say we just do the top 10 that are at the top today, and then maybe we could do, like, the rest another time.
How about
you
I pick? Could I pick like one or two? Because I haven't done any yet.
Alright, sure.
Okay, you did a couple. Let me do a couple. All right, so Silver the Hedgehog with this brand new render, I think. Silver the
Yeah, I
Hedgehog's a
hope not. It
time
looks
traveling hero
terrible.
from the future. Is it not a new one?
That's a
don't
terrible
recognize
render.
this
That
render.
doesn't look new.
I don't recognize this pose though.
Yeah, but look at his lips, dude, and look at the shading on the muzzle.
No, I
That's
know
an
the
old
lips
render.
suck, but is he part of? Maybe this is part of that poster I used to have on my wall with all the whole cast. I'm not sure.
I think it's like it's
But,
an old render, but you haven't seen it before.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna say this, but I don't really know how to phrase it. I feel like if I don't recognize it, I probably it's probably not old because I feel like I would have seen it in
No,
what I do.
What I mean is like it could be
You know?
new to us because it hasn't been released publicly before, but it's just one that they had in.
Oh,
their
it could,
story.
yeah, it could have been unreleased.
Yeah,
that's,
okay. Sorry, I
I
didn't
just
word
mean
that
like
very
if
well,
this
yeah.
was released in the past, I would remember it because I've made so many thumbnails and tried so hard to make sure I don't steal fan renders.
Yep.
So it's like,
Yep.
you know, like I was always looking at every possible official render I could, and that's
No,
like I
'cause
just don't
you used to have
I don't
such a
recognize this
problem with
pose.
that. You were stealing fan art left, right, and center, man. And I remember when you like.
I was not. I was.
That
See,
statement
that
where you
happened. I
said
think.
you weren't sorry. Like that was like wow.
I think that I don't remember if it was me that happened to. I think it was someone else. There was like a big thing once on Twitter. Like someone was like, "This guy's just taking renders," not me. And it was an accident. Whoever did it, but that like really freaked me out because I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't want Twitter to be mad at me." But you know, all you have to do to get mad on Twitter is just be there. So
I generally do try to like avoid using fan renders unless it's like I'll put like a link to it in the description and like there's someone that has a track record of allowing their renders to be used in things, or maybe it's like quite a broadly known one. Like
yeah, no, I would always look for that too.
But then again,
that was always nice when people let that
maybe
happen.
you get like some little ones, like some ones that need some attention that like, you know, are like, hey, you can use this if you want. Like that's always a great opportunity there because it elevates them and it helps you too. So it's an idea to keep out.
Yeah.
Go
on
on
then.
in,
Let me
read
read these bios now.
Read this crusty.
Yeah.
boy.
All right. So Silver the Hedgehog. Silver the Hedgehog's a time-traveling hero from the future who wields extraordinary powers. With the psychokinetic ability to manipulate and launch objects while only using his mind, Silver possesses skills that put him on equal footing with Sonic and Shadow. Well, we have to be shown that at some point. That'd be great.
Please.
Again, I mean, in Forces he did clean up pretty well. In things like Generations, I guess he's on par. Anyway, his unyielding optimism and strong sense of justice means he'll never give up hope, even against impossible odds. Earnest to a fault, the kind and pure-hearted Silver is willing to put his life on the line for the sake of the world and the happiness of the people in it. Yeah, I like that. I can.
That's good.
I can
I
vibe
like
with
that.
that.
I'd like to hear a little
so we're
bit
gonna go
about his
back.
like sass rather. It's funny as well. I've got a buddy
Does
of
anyone
mine.
but you believe your lies?
So I've got a buddy of mine, and he speculated Silver as being the most likely Sonic character to be on the spectrum. And it's funny that it mentions here strong sense of justice, like outright. That is outright terminology used in like spectrum autism assessments and stuff. So I might just have to send that to my buddy. He'll be quite pleased with that.
That's fun. Yeah, no, I'm all for including, you know, any kind of inclusivity like that.
I mean, as far as I'm
Nicholas.
concerned, Shadow is autistic coded. As far as I'm concerned, like,
yeah, I see a lot of people say that. I see a lot of good. There's like this fan AU that I apologize. I don't know who made it, but I saw like a YouTube short of a dub of their comic. But it's a dub of this comic where Shadow and Amy. It's like far future, and they have a child, and it's like I think like Amy is considering the fact that like, oh, maybe the kid might be on the spectrum because she doesn't talk very much, or she's
they're
not
tackling
like,
some real
talking
shit
and the
here,
thing.
actually. Like,
and then it's like Shadow says something like, I don't imagine that's the case because, like, you know, where would that have come from? And then Shadow's on screen eating a thing of coffee beans and just kind of like having the exact same facial expression as the baby. And they just kind of like stand there, and Amy kind of looks back and forth between them. And it's a lot cuter than I'm obviously making it sound, because
I mean, the main things that kind of got me, I kind of like how you see Shadow like physically kind of struggle to process his emotions in like the end of Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings, and just Shadow Generations itself. You see like his arms tremble. You see he kind of gets in a state of paralysis when he sees Gerald again. You've got kind of how like Rouge talks to him and tries to get him to be more outgoing and stuff, but he's quite, you know, he's quite an introspective fella. But also like people on the spectrum tend to aura farm much better than normies, so that's why I think that Shadow is probably on the spectrum, because I don't think any normie could aura farm the way he does.
Fucking love Shadow. He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
It also could be the fact that his literal only coping mechanisms came from Maria, and then he was born, lived for like a handful of weeks or whatever, and then was put on ice after seeing the most traumatic shit he's ever gonna see in his life. So like I kind of feel like there are some elements of like, oh well, he just never had. He did not grow up the way the other Sonic characters did. He did not have the same. He didn't have the same time, I imagine, with Maria as like Sonic would have had with his theoretical parents, you know. So it could be something like that too, like which could also be traits of that, of course.
So I'm.
But yeah, no,
thinking
again, I love the inclusivity of it. I love that for everybody.
if you want to do some more of these, if you don't want to make it like, I mean, how long have you got? Like, how long would you just be game to just chill, just looking at these?
Well, I guess it's gonna be until I'm gonna be real with you. I'm setting up my own shit for like mod stuff right now in Smash Ultimate, and it's a very tedious process. So just talking about this kind of keeps me in the moment. So I don't care. But
so if you'd like to continue on, if you want to extend, I'm happy. Like I'm happy to extend. I think the audience will be happy to extend, right? Audience, you happy?
So Mephiles, I want to do this one because this is a surprise here. Mephiles the Dark is a malevolent entity, a sentient fragment of the flame god Solaris. So not half of him, like I think it implied in Sonic 06. Like I think it implied that they were two pieces or like two sides of the same coin. This to me implies that if they had splintered more, we could have had more than just Mephiles running around, which would have been really scary. Let's see, he had been sealed within the Scepter of Darkness until it was accidentally destroyed. After Mephiles was freed, he took on a chilling new physical appearance copied from Shadow's own Shadow. A master manipulator who behaves in mysterious ways. Mephiles makes others do what he wishes by exploiting their fears, doubts, and ambitions, all in service of a calculated plot to achieve his dark goals. Ooh, that's a pretty good one.
He's a devious little menace, him.
He's a little piece of shit, that guy. I love him. Let's see, who else is weird?
They could have just put shit bag for Mephiles, really. Just one word,
asshole.
Shit bag.
Does not exist in the current timeline, and he's very upset about that.
Literally doesn't even exist.
Blaze,
can't take the L. Just move on, bro. It's over.
Here's Blaze. I know it's very obvious to me, these three characters that I care about. But Blaze the Cat is a visitor from another dimension, not the future. She's a princess of the Soul Empire and the guardian of the Soul Emeralds, and when her people are threatened, she leaps into action without hesitation to protect them. A master of flames with all 7 Soul Emeralds, she transforms into Burning Blaze, a super-powered version of herself that's similar to Supersonic. While Blaze may seem calm and composed on the surface, her fiery emotions are occasionally visible through the cracks. There's that, like, flaw thing we were talking about. Yeah, that's cool.
See? Good characters, right? Like...
Yeah, let's see. Most of the time, though, her dedication to duty causes an air of reserve that makes her come across as shy. However, since meeting Sonic and others, she's learned that she doesn't have to do everything on her own, and the problems can often be solved through the power of teamwork. That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you notice how some of the best characters in this franchise, like Blaze and Knuckles, are the ones where flaws are acknowledged in their bios.
Yeah, Silver too. It was.
The thing is,
naivety.
If they just stuck with like some of the characterizations that they had in the 2000s, we could have acknowledged some flaws. Like for Sonic, we could have said, "Oh, he can be a little aloof. He can be a little blunt. He can be a little abrupt. He prefers sleeping to hanging out with friends." For Amy, you could she could be a brat.
Chow guard. There's a Chow thing here, and it says right at the top, "Chow are curious life forms who you will never get to raise in a garden ever again, but will still show them off to you." That's kind of interesting. I wonder what they meant by that. Let's see.
They are unraisable.
What else we got? Hey, you will not ever raise them. Do not even try. Maria, I want to know what they say about Maria. That's a lot. She has 3 paragraphs here.
Oh my god,
that's more than Silver got.
That is a lot of paragraphs.
Maria Robotnik, granddaughter of Professor Gerald Robotnik and cousin of Dr. Eggman, was a brilliant young woman born with an incurable disease. Eventually moved to the space colony Ark, Maria lived with her condition. Maria lived where her condition was more manageable and where her grandfather could perform tests and research to hopefully find a treatment. This space station is also where she met Shadow, who was born in one of the laboratories. For a while, the two grew up together almost like brother and sister, until one day, without warning, there was an unfortunate incident and Maria was tragically killed. That's pulling out the K word in this, instead of just being like struck down or she was lost. Like, that's... I like that this is like, not to use the word definitive when we were ripping on it so much earlier, but these do really feel like definitive bios for these guys so far. In life, she possessed profound compassion and wished for a world where everyone could be happy. Maria's gentle strength and optimism left a lasting impression on those who knew her, particularly Shadow.
So this is one where you can't really put the flaws down because game universe Maria doesn't really have flaws. She's just kind of an angel girl.
She didn't have time to have flaws.
It's
really
there to
sad.
add to the tragedy, but like I think Sonic 3 honestly did Maria better because like she's a little shit and like she dies partly through Shadow's own DNA, and like they just reinvented that story in such a fucking cool way, man. Like they couldn't cap the kid in the fucking head, so they found an even fucking more narratively, thematically God, fucking that movie is so good. I find it strange,
Still can't
though.
believe I've only watched it one time. Still, I'm not sure how that's the case.
It's slightly peculiar. Like, it's not like anything major, but it's just strange wording, in my opinion, that they refer to her as a young woman when Maria is very kid-coded.
Yeah, no, I think that might just be that might be like a reverence thing instead of just being like, yeah, she was a silly girl who like, you know, it
silly
sounds
little
more
brat
respectful.
Who fucking died, you know.
I think to say she was a young woman, whatever. But I mean, no, I do agree that is a little weird. But I think it was more of a respect thing, like someone who is no longer here. We would refer to them as, something more than that. Like, just if you're just like, oh, she's a kid that lived on the space station. It's like that doesn't feel like it has enough weight. For what
You
we're
know
talking
what?
about.
I think I want to edit her bio a little bit in Inspect Element.
Okay. Just write dead, deceased, and that's the whole bio. That's it.
Nah.
Here,
I got something
Eggman here.
that's really going to speak to Sonic fans here.
Oh, God. Also, I've noticed today that I've been watching the YouTube stream to check and see, when you put stuff on screen, and clicking the live button, like that usually brings it up to the most recent, live point of the stream, does not do that anymore. I'm not sure why, but I'm willing to bet that it's one of those AI coding things that just fucked up the website, right?
I love it
all
when
the other
helpful
websites
features get taken away. I just love it.
I was talking to Ian about this earlier too, where I've been watching this 11-hour video about the Berserk manga, because I've never really interacted with it before, and it's an 11-hour video. Why the fuck not? But like, I've been sent back to the same spot about 4 or 5 times now, even though I've made at least an hour and a half of progress in between listening, and YouTube refuses now to change where it's remembering I last left off. And I guarantee you it's another one of those fucking AI coding things. They just shoved more code in, they tried to change something, and, Claude or whatever was like, yeah, no, I'll just fuck it up. Sure.
This is why you can't replace an entire industry with AI. You have to have people who know what the fuck to do and what they're doing.
Yep. And they don't care about that, though, because, drumroll please, it's cheaper. Woo!
Yeah, Dylan, check DMs, though. I rewrote Maria Robotnik's bio.
Don't put that on the stream.
Don't put it on the stream.
No. It's nothing. It's about guns, basically. That's all you need to know.
Well, at this point, you almost might as well. You've basically implied
all right, just
everything.
show it, whatever, I don't care.
You said I rewrote Maria's bio, and you said basically it's all about guns.
I don't know. Like, I just...
Okay, should I or shouldn't I?
It's just... It's a joke. It's a gag, obviously, but
it's sensitive. I think
it's a sensitive topic about guns and being killed as a child, I imagine. That's a sensitive topic.
KB says it can't be that bad.
I mean, it's technically not. It's just like... I don't know. I feel like it could rub someone the wrong way, but...
Hmm.
Anyway, I mean,
I feel like
whatever, it's fine.
Hmm.
You want to read another one? You want to take over?
we've just made this thing sound really bad now, though, and people.
All right,
are
just show it. It's fine. It's literally just a silly joke Pup made. But I was like,
no, I
gun
deleted
violence
it
is
now.
a
It's
thing.
gone
Like
now.
that's
I
gun violence
I
is-
never even did it in the first place. No one ever saw.
gun
Okay,
violence is
fine,
it's
fine.
a big issue, you know.
Okay, right. No, wait, shit. Hang on. Okay, cool. I almost called the file Mario for a second.
Mario. Hey, Mario!
Okay, there you go. There's the edited bio.
It's not bad.
I mean,
it's not.
This
It's
is
not that bad, but
okay.
yeah.
You know, Emsbury could get away with this. Sorry, fuck it. You know, let's be courageous here. Let's all be a little bit more
okay.
Emsbury tonight.
Let's see. All right. Do you want to go to? Do you want to do more bios?
Yeah, let's do more. But do you want to get some more? You want to do another one?
I'll do one more, and then you can.
I'll
take
keep
over
an
for
eye
a
on the
bit.
response and see if I'm cancelled.
Okay. Dr. Eggman, this is an interesting one. Dr. Eggman is an evil genius perpetually pursuing his plans of world domination. Perpetually pursuing his plans. Yeah! That's some good alliteration. Perpetually pursuing his plans of world domination. Although his real name is Dr. Ivo Robotnik, Sonic started calling him Eggman as a joke. However, he took the name in stride and claimed it as his own, and he's been calling himself Dr. Eggman ever since. Flaunting an IQ of 300, it's undeniable that he's an exceptional scientist with an obvious passion for robotics. But his mind is misguided, as Eggman has no concerns about causing harm to others, and all of his nefarious plots revolve around establishing an empire that remakes society in his own egotistical image, or egg-otistical image, perhaps. Ha. He takes great pride in his work, which is also why he is quick to throw a tantrum when things don't go his way. Even after being thwarted by Sonic again and again, he never gives up. He's nothing if not persistent. Despite it all, somewhere deep inside his twisted heart, he has a begrudging fondness for that pesky blue hedgehog. That's an interesting thing to drop at the end.
I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I might not like non-Archie Ian Flynn Eggman. I feel like he tries to make him a very dignified villain, and tries to make him kind of an aura farmer in a way, and like add all these nuances to him. But Robotnik is not his most fun in that form, I think. Like, you could still have him be a credible threat and be this just fucking incredibly charismatic, loves being a dick character, you know? You can still take, like, the general bones of what made Robotnik so enjoyable to watch in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and apply it to Sega Eggman. Like, and still have him be a threat.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, they, like, the way they pose him in Crossworlds and stuff as well, they try to make Eggman look cool now. You see in DCX Sonic, they're trying to make him look cool. And I'm just like, stop making him cool. Sonic's cool.
He cannot look cool wearing Lex Luthor's armor. He's never gonna look cool if he puts on someone else's clothes.
No, but there's, like, various times that, like, IDW and stuff where they try to have him, like, have this aura farm moment and stuff. And I think, you know, you should have some of that in there and stuff. But I think the problem is that's all they're trying to do, and now you've got an instance. It's homogenization. That's my problem. Is I feel like the current iteration homogenizes things and blends them together. It used to be Sonic is cool, Robotnik is an object of ridicule. Now it's Sonic is cool, Robotnik is cool. It used to be Sonic is emotionally guarded, Amy is emotionally available. Now it's Sonic is emotionally available and Amy is emotionally available. Like, everything is just matching now, and it's
the
not
Eggman
interesting
thing,
that way.
I agree to some degree, but like I think like you were saying, if we look at other iterations too, I kind of like the dynamic better where Sonic is cool or funny and Eggman is like he thinks he's hot shit and he acts like he is. But it's like, it's very obvious that he's like a huge fucking joke. I kind of like that for him, because like he can still do threatening things, but he is a goober. You know, like he is in essence just a giant goober.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing
think
is, like,
fun.
it's not even just like this is like a USA thing. Like, if you look at Eggman in Sonic X, he had serious moments, but generally everything he did was dressed in this deeply unserious, like, demeanor. Like, there was a time when he had a little fight with Sonic on a school field, and at the end of the fight tried to give Sonic a badge with his own face on it as like a little prize, and thought that would be something that he'd want, basically. That kind of shit is so funny, and I just think
it's kind of adorable.
You do need that angle there, and I think we've just seen that diminish constantly. And that's one thing I can say is, even though I didn't like the Pontaf era, it did at least understand that Robotnik is still an object of ridicule as well as a threat.
Sure. Yeah, I think also going back to other versions of Robotnik, I keep thinking about like the Long John Baldry Robotnik and how like I love how self-obsessed he was with himself, because like he really sells the whole like I'm a threat. I mean, to some degree, because like he does succeed in some cases. Like he captures Sonic here and there. He gets what he wants.
He has prisoners and stuff like that. He is a problem.
He does. Like... He is a threat. He will actually get you if you're not careful. But like, I guess it's because like everyone around him isn't as intelligent as he is, but his intelligence manifests completely in self-absorption. And it's like, I kind of like that a lot, because he's clearly out of his league when he compares to Sonic in like almost every regard. But he still goes up, like fist fights him. He will fist fight Sonic if it comes down to it, and he will lose, but he's going to do it because he thinks he could win. And I think that's hilarious. Like, that's just a really fun way to have that character. But, you know, like, we can't have... Like, that's obviously great for an episodic show that just kind of, like, resets after every single episode. Maybe not good for a long-standing series. Where,
that's
like,
what I was about to touch on. That is the misconception that he's a simple version of the character. And that he's not got, like, the layers of the other ones and stuff that could be explored. Because you got to think, Robotnik is someone that knows he's rotten and takes a lot of pride in it in that show.
He likes it.
He loves that.
Yeah.
He carries himself with such bluster and confidence and conviction when he's getting up to all manner of no good and acknowledging that it is all manner of no good. But then, what makes it so funny is he does not understand why people don't adore him afterwards. He's genuinely trying to get the adoration of the people to rule the world by being a shit. And he does not understand why this isn't working. And it's just because
why did they not respect me, Grounder? And Grounder goes, oh, well, boss, maybe it's because you put everyone in prison and kill everybody all the time.
That's not a bad Grounder impression, you know? Like, that's actually pretty good.
And then Scratch shows up, and Scratch is like, oh!
Okay, next time I do a Sonic animation, those two have got to be in it. Because, like, that's good. That's really good. Like...
Thanks, man. I've been working on my impressions.
But then what will become of Jumbo?
He can still be there. I don't know.
He'll just be given, like, Toy Story side character status in this, where he's off in the background and he might say, oh, that's new, or something. Like...
No, here's one. Maybe Jumbo... This could be the origin of Jumbo, where he's created... Or is he an organic creature, or is he a robot?
He's an organic creature.
Okay, so maybe he was hired to try and get Scratch and Grounder on the right page. To be like,
he
hey,
wasn't hired.
Okay, well,
he was basically the prince of his world, and truly the most powerful of his kind. He's an absolute expert martial artist and marksman. He truly is the best of the best. But he thought Robotnik was his real dad, and yeah.
Okay, you know what? I don't think I've ever sat down and heard the Jumbo lore. That's fucking awesome.
I just like the idea that Robotnik has this henchman where you're just like...
Grounder.
I just love the idea that Robotnik has this henchman where you're just like, how did he even get that? Like, why does he have that? Like...
Yeah, what is this? It's
so
the
he's
kind of
just
stuff,
got
like,
this...
It's like you see him with Chaos all of a sudden. You're like, you just have that guy?
Yeah, but it's also like... Because you know that physically, Jumbo could absolutely body Dr. Robotnik, but like...
He thinks he's his father. Going back to your thing about them just having them all around, maybe that could be a thing where, like, Robotnik reactivates Scratch and Grounder, and he's like, Jumbo, you're in charge. Make sure these dumbasses don't do anything stupid. And then it's just about Jumbo being like, you know, like, is this stupid? Like, are they doing stupid things, or are they not? Like, what even is stupid about this? I don't know. I'm also just quickly
seeing that KB is quite passionate about, like, kind of Eggman. You know, he has been quite cool over the years and stuff. I think it's just the fact that he was way more versatile with it. He had cool moments there. But I think it was also helped by the fact that in Adventure 2 and Unleashed, he was particularly menacing. Like, even if he wasn't mega comedic in Sonic Adventure 2, he was so menacing that it made up for it. And also, another difference between that and the Eggman that we have now is that only after Sonic was dead and no one was listening did Robotnik acknowledge a little respect for Sonic. Up until that point, Sonic ain't shit. I love the idea that Robotnik is just like, fuck Sonic. I much prefer that to him openly telling Sage, oh, I don't like him, but I sure do respect him. Yeah, I mean, KB, I agree. Unleashed
I know I reacted
a
little differently to that last line. I was kind of confused, but there are plenty of times where we do see that he has that begrudging respect, and I think having that is fine. That does make him.
He does, but it needs to be
Bowser.
It needs to be behind a mask of "I hate that fucking hedgehog." One of the best Robotnik.
Bowser respects Mario.
One of the defining.
I think with Bowser in the RPGs is pretty respectful of Mario in some cases, but
one of the defining Robotnik quotes isn't even from Dr. Robotnik. It's from the CS188 presidential YouTube poop, where Donnie goes, Dr. Robotnik once said, kill that fucking hedgehog, and so I did. I just think kill that fucking hedgehog, said in Long John Baldry's voice, is just everything the character's about to me.
Yeah, sorry, about Bowser and Mario too. I was specifically thinking about... I mean, I guess anytime when these characters have to team up with their worst enemy, you kind of have to look at the situation as well. Like, every time they've had to team up, it's literally like, if I don't do this, everything's over. Like, it's game over for literally everyone. There's nothing I can do about it. I need to work with this guy. In Frontiers, he's really against it for a while, because remember, Sage is like, I've remembered in the past that you've worked with Sonic to stop similar threats, and he's like, I don't want to do that. Like, he kind of puts it off until there's no other choice, which I think is a decent way to go. Like, I don't think they should be teaming up every single game or anything like that, but when they do team up because there's a bigger threat, I think it does hit harder, sort of like with Bowser and Mario, like, in Mario RPGs, or I'm thinking specifically in Paper Mario Origami King, the very beginning, Bowser is basically folded into he's basically like a little wet floor sign. He literally cannot even, like, walk normally. He has to kind of, like, trudge around. But the instantaneous, like, hey, we're working together now. You know you need me. And he doesn't say it, but he's like, oh, I'm going to team up with you because literally I need you. And, like, he has no qualms about it. He's like, it's a bad situation. I'm just going to be real. Yeah. And, like, in that case, I feel like there is a respect you can see between characters like that when they do put it away, like,
you know what, I'll admit, I'll concede, I'm being overly rigid on Robotnik. And I think it's because I'm quite passionate about, like, Robotnik's character. I think when done right, he can be the absolute best character in the entire franchise, and is a really wonderful balance of kind of fun and menacing, and I just don't think we have a balance at the moment, but that's not the end of the world, because there have been more serious versions in the past that have made up for it by being just more menacing on a whole. Like 06 Eggman. He's not funny, but he's menacing,
yeah, he's not funny, he just sucks.
Adventure 2 Eggman, he scratches his ass one time. Like, that's kind of funny. Like,
I was thinking of that when we were talking about him not being funny.
Yeah, like, that was quite funny. I feel like he needs to, like, look kind of deeply unserious as he's, like, walking around. But, like,
actually, hold on. That scene with him where he scratches his ass in SA2, that's so real because he thinks he's alone. Is that the scene where Rouge is hiding and watching him?
Yeah,
because,
and like, comes in and
funny.
he's like, I didn't see you there.
I didn't scratch my ass. I didn't do it. Don't look at the cameras.
I just love that they put little details like that in. They took the verisimilitude of the universe so seriously back then, and it's so cute. But yeah, I mean,
I love that so much.
I acknowledge that I'm being a little.
So he's like, yes, I can scratch my egg ass, and no
one
will know.
I am acknowledging that I'm being a little overly rigid with Robotnik. I think it's because he's the character that in, like, the Speeding Ticket short film I'm having the most fun with. And I think that is largely because I have kind of based him a lot off of Baldry's Robotnik. But, like, Dylan, have I told you, like, the lore behind why the chemical plant exists? Because that was one thing I wanted to answer.
In your lore?
Yeah, in the Speeding Ticket thing, I guess. Like, this is just something that's written down as, like, a throwaway comment.
I don't remember. You can...
Okay, so the chemical plant
I guess. Yeah.
exists to take chemicals, make them way more toxic, and then dump them into the ocean where most of the fish live.
I think you did tell me that before, and that is a much better reason than I think Sonic Team could come up with.
That's the level of petty he's at. This is a Robotnik that would literally buy up every Chili Dog franchise and replace it with Bitcoin just to piss Sonic off. Like,
or like replace it with only like vegetarian options, and Sonic's like, "What the hell? Where am I supposed to get my protein from?"
Like, the level of hatred that he has for him, I'm trying to strive for here, is like Lex Luthor levels of hatred. Like, he has to absolutely.
It could be kind of funny if like it could be funny if he's playing both sides of it too, where like he's made the chemical plant to make everything worse and dump all the chemicals into the ocean, but then he turns around to the government and he's like, "I've got this nice little thing that can restore the ocean to its former glory."
What the fuck? Like, you're pretty good at that too.
He just like plays both sides.
Damn it! I'm kind of jealous of that. I want to do that.
I mean, you could do that. It's fine.
I can't roll my R's.
Oh, I thought you meant the chemical idea. Yeah, no.
Oh no, yeah, I know. I'm talking about the voice. But like, he's just a petty shit. Like, he's got empires, like he's got all these robots, and the thing is, he could conquer the world, but he's too distracted by the desire to kill that fucking hedgehog, and like. It's not even like he's mad at him because he's been beaten so many times. He's just mad at him because he had the audacity to exist.
How dare you exist in my That's my favorite kind of villain, where it's just like, you got a lot of nerve being alive, don't you? You know, like kind of thing.
Like, I just... I love the idea of, like, starting a short with, like, Sonic and friends having a picnic, and then, like, show Robotnik with, like, a telescope, spying, like, "Oh, so those idiots want to hate
that guy so much!"
Oh, didn't invite me, did you?
That's actually kind of what happened. In my Sonic Generations rewrite, the first ever episode of it, it starts with Sonic having a birthday party, and Eggman's watching them on a monitor, and he's just like, "What the fuck? It's my birthday too!" Like, fuck you guys.
I'm glad I was not like the
Orbot,
only person.
Like, I think Eggman's like, he doesn't say it, but Orbot is like, "Are you just upset that they didn't invite you to a birthday party, even though they know it's your birthday too?" And he's like, "No, shut up, Orbot. Shut the fuck up. Shut up." Anyway.
I'm glad that I'm not the only person that thought, "God, why does no one ever wish Robotnik a happy anniversary?" It might be because he didn't deserve it. I do, I'm gonna show it off. Fuck it. I made a little art piece for the 35th. I'll show that.
Yeah, definitely. It's really nice.
There we go. Yeah, I did this. I wanted to wish Robotnik a happy birthday as well.
I mean, I understand that too, because I was wishing Motobug a happy birthday that day the whole day. So. Oh my god, you know what we should do?
Yeah?
We should have Motobug on as a guest for the show sometime. That'd be fun. I'd be like, "Oh, Dylan can't make it because he's, I don't know."
You just saying that triggers my social anxiety so badly because I'm thinking about what it would be like to be you in that moment.
What do you mean? I love doing that.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, oh my god, I'd be so nervous about that myself. Like, that is it. Wow. Oh
yeah, I mean, I could do it. I think it'd be fun. Like, we just released that new episode, so it might be...
I thought you were going to suggest a short film featuring the speeding ticket version of Robotnik meeting the marvelous Motobug.
Oh, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'd be down to voice act that. That'd be cool.
I like the idea that, like, Motobug slips into another dimension, doesn't realize it's not his Robotnik, goes to confront him, and then Robotnik just stamps on him.
He just crushes him to death. I mean, that's like, we have a lot of little non-canon shorts on Pip's channel that we call Bad Nicktoons, which I think is a fucking awesome name. And there's one called Motobug Meets Omega. And, like, it starts off with Omega just standing there. Motobug just walks up and he hits him with the, "Hello, fellow rebel." And then it's not even like frame 2. Like, it's frame 1, a rocket just comes on screen and just blows him to bits. And it's so fucking funny. Because, like, that is exactly how that would go. Like, it'd be like walking up to Godzilla as a regular person and just being like, "Hi, Godzilla," but like not the old Godzilla that was like friendly and happy and cool after a while. Like, it'd be It'd be like walking up to Shin Godzilla and being like, "I am your equal," and then just immediately get destroyed.
Yo, hey, I got a fan question about the Marvelous Motorbug.
Okay, is it about the true name of the series? Because that's definitely the wrong M word. But yeah,
The Momentum Motorbug, sorry. So
thanks.
how come Splats is kind of
I
passing a little
I don't have
cushion for the
any-
pushing?
I don't have any involvement in the art. Okay,
Why is
I don't-
Splats kind of you know?
I have not made any of that art. I've never even described the characters. It just happens that way. I don't know. I think
why
it
is
might be a
Splats
subliminal marketing tactic.
kinda
In
bad?
some cases, I have no idea.
Hey, just you know, ask Pip for Splats' number. Just give me the digits. Like,
Oh boy. There was a comment on the latest episode, which is very funny because it almost sounds like something you would say. The comment just says, "Why is the rabbit kind of? The rabbit's kind of. Why is the rabbit kind of?" And they just don't answer. They don't continue the phrase.
did you see?
I'm like, dude, please.
Did you see that I shared it on the YouTube community tab? And did you see the caption?
I did see that. Yeah. It's very funny. I obviously don't care. I think
I
it's
can't
funny
believe Dylan
'cause,
made
like,
a Guna bait show by accident.
I didn't even. It's not even like the show is like that. It's
To be
literally
fair,
just
now
like,
you
like
know.
2 pieces of art. That's it.
No, to be fair, now you are basically. I'm not saying that you are the creator of Sonic, but you and the creator of Sonic are now the same thing in that you both completely by accident created a Guna bait franchise.
Is it really? You can really call the whole franchise that if it's like one character
I mean,
and it's an accident
all I'm saying is, all I'm saying.
or not completely intentional.
I mean, it's
don't
not
know.
just what.
I mean,
it's not just
okay,
one.
like her personality is meant to be like she's like she's a diva-esque character.
I mean, I'm
and
not
she's-
gonna lie. I
she's
also like.
based a lot on
I
Jessie
think
from,
Buzz was kind of
From
throwing
what
it
the
back.
fuck you call it?
Buzz was kind of throwing it back.
Yeah, no, you
ago.
just imprint a lot of your subconscious feelings onto those things. But like,
It-
Splats
you-
is
you were
meant to be like
saying-
a
I mean,
Team
it's-
Rocket Jessie kind of character. So Jessie, I guess technically, by default, is a little bit. You
What I
know, 'cause she
wanna
wears
ask
the
is
half shirt or whatever you call it. So
in episode 2, when Buzz was flying through the sky and the music was, I think, Jungle Zone.
Bridge Zone. Oh
No, it's not Bridge Zone, it's Jungle Zone. Yeah, that one. Tell me, what was she shaking if not her ass?
I don't think any of the badniks have an ass. That is
What do you
that's
mean?
what we would call a
She
thorax.
has this big round thing on the very back of her body. That's called an
Have
ass.
you ever seen a wasp? That's what a wasp looks like.
Yeah, but I don't really look at wasps because they sting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to look at them either, but like that's what they look like. The fact that what you're seeing is Pip's amazingly expressive animation.
Well, yeah,
And
obviously.
it has only gotten
There's
better
no
over time,
sneeze.
like-
It takes a lot to make a buzz bomber so
Stop it!
scrumdiddlyumptious.
That is not the intention. It is a silly scene where she's having fun looking for a bird, and she flies through a cloud, and she has a little funny Eggman mustache.
Yeah, now
And it's
now
funny and
there's
silly.
a
That's all it is.
now there's a bee I'd like to pollinate.
Doesn't make sense. You know, but bees
Yeah,
bees
give her
do the
some-
pollinating.
Yeah, I'd give her my honey.
Bees also create that. I don't think you've ever.
I love it.
actually
We've
ever met a
gone
bee
from
before.
bee theory to bee fucking.
That's what do you mean we?
I mean, you were
This
the
is-
one
alright,
who
listen.
deliberately sexualized a buzz bomber.
No, I did not. I wrote that episode, but it's
You
just
wrote
like
in
a
the
little
script
fun
that she
dance
throws
number.
it back repeatedly and twerks in the air,
Oh,
basically.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you read the script. Sorry, yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
I saw the notes.
But what the
See,
fuck were we talking about?
see, unlike some people, I actually read my friends' scripts when they're sent to me.
I don't think you ever sent me a bio on Jumbo.
Huh?
What are you talking about? What did I not read?
What? No, what? Doesn't matter. We're off track.
I thought you were implying that I didn't read something you sent me. I'm pretty sure I usually do.
script.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah, what's-
It's all a big joke, really. I'm complaining about nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about, chat? Is this real?
Do you want to do any more character bios, or do you want to move on to like super chats?
I think that was a pretty lengthy aside, I think we're probably good to move on to
Okay,
super
then let's
chats.
get to the super chats then. Yeah.
But also, yes, I actually would love to do a magnificent Motobug anything. Like if you wanted to do an animated thing, or if you wanted to do, because I have the Motobug Toon Tuber, and I have
Well,
like
yeah,
the voice
like, if
filter
you-
for
yeah,
live
if we-
talking. So
If we were to do like an animation together or something, like,
too. Yeah, and
of course,
like him
I'd
on.
need
I mean, having
I'd
him
need a
on the
few changes in
Sunset
order
City
for.
would be cool.
I'd need a few changes to the Motorbug character before I could put it out on my channel, but like, nothing too major.
You're not giving him an ass. You're not going to give him a giant ass.
I wasn't gonna
do
say
it.
give him an ass.
I thought you had to match Robotnik in that universe, and Robotnik always
No,
has a
no,
giant
no,
ass.
no, 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 no. That's not the purpose he serves. Although, if you could like give your Robotnik just the most plump, ridiculous ass, make it like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog coded.
What do you mean, my Robotnik? Oh, do you mean in the Motobug?
Yeah, Magnificent Motobug.
Well, Pip makes the sprites for most of it. Like he does like all his custom sprites and stuff,
Okay,
and he did
yeah.
come up with a very nice. Did you see the after credits of episode 2? Because I think that's where we have the most Robotnik since the first episode.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, to be honest, like, don't actually take anything
It's
I'm
like a
saying
mesh.
as like actually do any of this,
Classic and
because
modern.
like genuinely, like, leave it as is. Like, keep it completely you guys' fucking thing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh,
because
absolutely,
it's
no.
great. But
Pip
I'm
has-
saying also,
yeah,
if you
it's
want
all what
this
Pip wants to do, basically.
marvelous, magnificent Motorbug thing aired on a pup channel via fucking new kind of crossover animation, we're just gonna have to make some changes to Motorbug himself, is all.
In what way? Explain.
So, you know his tire?
Yeah, you tired of it?
I think I'd rather make it like a proprietary engine.
I don't know. So, how's
So
he gonna move?
he
I don't
doesn't have a
understand.
wheel, he just kind of hovers.
Why that kind of gets rid of his most defining trait. The
I
one
also
wheel that
would
he
like
kinda...
him to have a monkey sidekick
I see where this is going.
that is not coconuts.
I see where this is going. Okay. He's gonna turn him to a little Roomba.
No, I was obviously like we can't say what any of it is, but like with the thing like Ian's working on, I was like, hey, if you ever want to do like an animation, I'm fine with that, but you got to give him a crocodile sidekick.
Oh, I remember that. Okay, it was just like ridiculous, like asides of being like, "Hey, yeah,
No,
we'll
I'm
make your
just, you
project,
know,
but we're gonna have to
as
add
a
a side
kid-
character."
As a kid, I always wanted to make it big in the film industry, and what bigger is there than ruining other people's ideas?
It's a good point. But yeah, no, we could talk more about that later. And I would love to do a Motobug guest appearance on Sunset City. I think that'd be
It
really
can
funny.
be done. It can be done. We could even do Silver as well if you wanted to go down that route.
That I'm a little. I mean, I could, but I feel like it'd be a little weirder than Motobug.
We could call them
He's at least
Sunset City birthday
mine.
parties, and it's like, look who came to the birthday. It's
Whose
Silver.
birthday? Is it my birthday and I'm not there?
It's Silver. No, yeah, like no, it's Silver would show up to Frank's birthday.
Why? I don't think Frank likes Silver.
He's the only guy that's available, and it's still cool. He's still a cool little hedgehog dude.
I think it's actually a really funny idea for it to be my birthday party and I'm playing all the characters and I'm just not there.
I like the idea that you're working like the
really
catering
funny.
at your own birthday party, though. I think I'd rather you do the catering.
You put me in the background. Yeah, like that's funny.
Yeah, it's like your
okay.
birthday party. Like, Dylan, we need you in the kitchen.
Dylan, the cooks are they're in the kitchen and they need you.
Dylan,
Oh, yeah, I
the
gotta
tuna
go, hold on.
pepperoni and onion subs are coming out wrong. They're too flavorful.
Oh my goodness. How is
They
it?
actually are good.
I knew it.
No, they're not good. There's no
I
way.
knew it.
There is no way.
Hey, listen, onions and a lot of stuff like that make everything better. That's just how it is.
You don't know. All right, so all of our super chats today come from KB. So we might as well
Hey,
not even
KB.
mention. We might as well literally just say how much KB donated and take it in turns to just read what KB said.
If you would like to do it that way.
Okay, yeah,
sure.
let's do
I
it
feel
that
like it's
way,
gonna get a
because
little cluttered.
Since KB has been our benefactor for today.
Thank you, KB. Thank you, KB.
No, really, KB, thank you for being so generous, and obviously for all of your contributions to the chat as always. There will
Yeah,
never
also,
be a
this one
time
went on a
when
lot
you are
longer
not
than I thought it
welcome
would.
in Sunset City.
Judging by how like Just before we started this, I want to remind you guys that we were like several hours late to doing Sunset City, and when Pup popped in, we were like, let's do an arcade. And then we were like, I don't really want to play Sonic Rumble, or that's what I said. And then, I don't really want to play.
I wanted to do
Crossroads
Crossroads.
right
Do
now.
not character assassinate me that way. Rumble
No,
was
I said
not
me.
the first thing I suggested.
No, me. I said I don't. Sorry, no. You said Crossroads first, and I said my game is broken right now. I don't know how to fix it. And then you said, okay, Rumble then. And I was like, no. But then you had like 2 seconds where you were away from the microphone, and you came back and you were like, I've got it. We're going to interrogate Sonic. And I was like, it's okay.
Well, I knew that we were.
Stopped.
I knew that we weren't going to be able to get Ian because he ran out of time, and obviously I said there was a point, guys, audience. There was a point when Ian was here, and you missed it. You idiots. But as if it's not completely my fault. Where was I going with this?
Not sure.
What was I saying before?
I'm not sure. My meds
Look,
are
it's
really
a
leaving
really
my
hot
system
day.
at this point.
You can tell that this weather has fried my fucking brain. Like, you could tell.
There are times during the stream where I was,
yeah,
or before the stream, he was trying to. What were you? You were trying to say. You were trying to spell a 3-letter word, and you spelled it wrong, and you were like, "Wait, hold on."
Wait, what? Where?
Remember, you were. I can't remember. You were trying to spell. I don't remember what it was. It was just a 3-letter word because
today?
It was like you were trying to. Yeah, you were trying to emphasize something, and you were like, L whatever, and then.
Was it me
like,
just
wait a
saying
minute.
it's? Was it me just saying it's?
No, fuck, I can't remember either now.
Was
But
it
it
before?
was crazy because you were trying to say something, you were trying to explain yourself, and I had no fucking idea what you were talking about because you were spelling this word completely wrong. And then you went, oh wait, hold on, no, I'm mixing up my letters.
I don't know what it is.
I don't either. And it was not on the recording,
and
so I don't think
I'm
we'll ever
looking
know.
at the chat, and right now it's like the 25th. Like,
Oh, text Ian. Maybe Ian remembers.
would Ian remember?
I think Ian.
I think Ian's busy.
Listens.
I think Ian's probably doing his podcast with the Silver Race. I think.
Oh, does
Let's see if that's.
I
happening.
didn't know if he was where he left, but he had to go do some stuff. Hold on, I'm just gonna tag him and say.
How exactly are you going to word asking that? Like, hey, I could swear Pup said a thing wrong and you saw it. What's the haps, brother? Like... Alright. Sonic Comic Cast. Oh, it doesn't go out live, so he's probably recording it.
Law. It was Law. That's what Ian immediately knew. He texted me back instantaneously.
What?
It was Law. We were talking about Ian and I were talking about One Piece when Pup showed up, and Pup
this
heard
wasn't a big deal.
Ian's... No, I thought it was funny. Is why I'm saying it because and we've already put so much time into saying what the fuck happened. But like Ian and I were talking about One Piece, and Ian was talking about Trafalgar Law, the character, because apparently he's a big player in the arc that I was talking about that I hadn't seen yet. And Pup was like, Law, oh yeah, I don't know, Law, AWL. And I was like,
right, yes, yeah, I do remember
what?
that.
What are you fucking talking about?
I fucked up spelling it like twice. Yeah, no, it was. Oh my god,
he couldn't do it. He literally stopped and said, "Hold on a second, I'm getting my words up."
I think the fact that I don't
wrong.
even remember something that happened like 3 hours ago, it's like telling. Okay, all right, there it is. Okay, thank you, Ian. Okay, all right, look, this. I think KB's been waiting long enough for his...
That was really funny, I'm sorry. That really got me. I mean, at first I was like, oh my god, is he okay? Like, that's a...
Dude, at that point as well...
egregious error. Yeah.
No, so dude, like, I had tried to take a nap, because right now, because of the heat wave, my sleep pattern goes 24 hours awake, about 4 hours of sleep. 24 hours awake, about 4 hours of sleep. It's not been good. So trust me, I'm absolutely knackered. But, yeah, I say but, there's absolutely no silver lining to that. Climate change is real, folks. Like, genuinely, like, if you don't believe in it, like, let's just talk. Let's just figure this out, man. Like the evidence is there. It's empirical. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
anyway.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Super chat time. Okay. So, thank you very much to KB with the. I need a calculator. Fuck. With the.
Hold on.
With
20.
No, do we need a specific? Can we just say a lot of money?
$26, just about around $26, probably a little more.
Thank you for the very generous donation, KB. As always, very generous and very cool. Dilnor, do you want to just read this top one here, Borger?
Yeah, also, I want to say, we have interacted with chat a lot more with this episode, because we're kind of just, doing silly shit and stuff, but, thank you, everybody, for the contributions to the discussions. Like, I really appreciate stuff like, when you guys were talking, helping us think through the whole definitive edition thing and bringing up points like other games, shit like that.
And, like, the possibility of
sometimes my brain doesn't work like that.
Like...
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that you guys were adding to that. It's helpful. So thank you everybody for all that and for watching.
Like us, like content creators are also like I don't think vulnerable is the right word, but susceptible to misinformation. Like we can be misinformed on things too, and I think I might have been misinformed thinking that those new collections were Switch 2. So as I say, like it's good that we do actually have a community that are willing to actually discuss this and discuss the facts. So yeah, genuinely, like, thanks. You guys are a genuinely really solid community, and every time I say something positive, I sound sarcastic. You can see why I'm a shit. I'm better at it.
Yeah, no, I guess along that line too, just having obviously when, we're together and we have a couple people on the show, it's not... It's a lot easier to not see chat and like miss things. I try to keep watch on it. From the perspective of someone who streams alone a lot, having the chat be there and actually moving and having people to converse with is just a huge important thing for streamers. So I know you've probably heard people say it before. Just watching it is enough for me. That's real. Like that is 100% real. Because like just having someone to talk to in those moments, even if it's just simple stuff like, oh, what happened there? And, we just talk about that. It's huge because, like streaming is putting yourself out there, putting your personality out there, and people will take advantage of that. People will be needlessly rude to you over that. But the people who are here to just check out what we're fucking blabbering about, and, you're willing to engage with us in that sense is, it's really special. Like we do appreciate that.
To put it into perspective as well, like us YouTubers, we receive emails from scammers posing as sponsorship
all the
deals
time.
And stuff like that every day, and
it's only gotten worse with AI.
It can be quite hard to feel validated when everything you say is under a microscope at all times, and when people do dismiss what you have to say a lot, like that's something that a YouTuber is going to get is a lot of dismissal and stuff, and when you have things like, I guess, ADHD and stuff like that, it can train
that makes it hard to stream.
Very bad thought patterns into your head, which requires the person to kind of draw up more of a boundary with the audience. And I think that's something that I've kind of had a little bit. But I must admit, like, lately I've been, like, I've been looking into, like, just what masking is, to be honest, and been trying to just gradually, bit by bit, dismantle this wall between myself and the rest of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe it's a nice idea to acknowledge the chat, a bit more often and stuff. You know what? Let's fire Ian and get the chat as the third guy.
That is not the answer. But no, I agree. The masking thing is actually something, not to keep putting off KB Super Chats. The masking thing is stuff I've thought about a lot recently too, because I am trying to be more open about a lot of things as well. I'm trying to be a little bit more of myself as opposed to putting on fronts, because I've realized that even the amount of time I've been doing this and trying to keep it real, in air quotes, I still was wearing a bit of a mask to try and carry myself, this way or that way. And I do the same thing in real life a lot of the times. Like for my whole life, it's been, I'm probably just going to pretend that, like I'm not, I'm going to pretend to be listening to what these guys are, not pretending to listen, but I'm going to try my best to be in this conversation with people who have zero interest in anything that I am going to tell them. but like I have to like sort of be engaging with people, or else people are gonna think I'm a fucking weirdo. So like, there's a lot of that, but over time, and especially lately, over the course of several years, and just depression, anxiety, and general feelings of hopelessness and worthlessness, I'm getting to the point where it's like I kind of just don't want to have to do that anymore. I would rather just say funny things, or do a little jig or something if I'm feeling like doing a little jig, and like if people don't like that, then I don't really give a shit. Like I've been talking a lot more openly with people like my parents and some other people in my family, as opposed to how I would usually be like, oh, they don't care what I'm doing really. And, even if I told them, it probably didn't really do anything. But, I've been surprised. Like, if any of that sounds familiar to you, if you feel like people aren't going to care about what you have to say, or what you're doing, or what you find important, sometimes it just takes a little bit of doing it, and maybe just showing people that it is important to you, and that's enough. Like, I've been a lot more open with my parents recently about certain things. Like, like Deltarune chapter. This is a very small example, but Deltarune chapter 5 just came out, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be in my room for a while today, because one of my favorite things just updated, and I'm very excited." And my parents were like, "Oh, that's great. No, I'm glad to hear that." Like, yeah, no, you've been doing a lot, so not that they police what I do, obviously, but like, because I've been working to try and get a full-time job and other things like that. So it's, I guess, just a little bit of that confidence that needs to sort of be built up over time, or whatever. And it's like, it feels good to just not be like, hey, I'm going to go sit in my room and do nothing. I'm going to sit there and be quiet. Is like, maybe what they imagined. But yeah, no, again, to get back to the chat thing, like that's something that helps. It's something that helps when you can talk nice and candidly with people. We don't need to be screaming and going over the top every 5 seconds, but like when it does happen, it feels more real, because it's not something I'm just putting on for a camera. It's like, oh, if I'm actually screaming about something, it's because I feel like screaming.
I think also like a community experience can just mean a lot, like just in a world that just gets more and more kind of invalidating by the day, it feels. Like the job market's not getting any better. I too am, struggling with the job thing as well. But like, yeah, these are just like some of the fucking, journeys that we've been on over the past couple of weeks, basically, which kind of explains why we haven't been here.
Yeah, months, years, whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I've been doing a lot of different stuff this year. I've been really making a lot of changes, and it's felt good for the most part. I've been doing more and saying more, and yeah, no, it's tough.
My main thing has been like, when you exist on the online world, you can kind of fade out of reality a little bit. Like, I got a buddy.
You can tie yourself to numbers really harshly, which I did.
Well, it's not just that.
I felt a lot of self-worthlessness because of numbers.
Well, it's not just that. Well, what I also mean is like, we have this show, and like you guys are a big part of like my social circle and stuff. We met through YouTube and that. And it can be that, you find the comfort in that community. That's where, the money gets made as well. So it kind of, you stop existing in the real world, You don't get seen out and about in public. And, I recently moved to a new town as well. So, like, yeah, I'd gotten into like
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd moved like 3 years ago. But, like, I hadn't really...
Oh, okay.
I hadn't really gotten to know the locals or anything, and I was a bit worried and scared and anxious about it. And then one of my buddies introduced me to some people, and had a good time. And I've been trying, to look at things through this new perspective, like understanding myself, Where the fuck did this come from? Let's just fucking do KB Super Chat.
No, I mean, no, it's good to... This is important to a lot of people, I think, because I don't think...
You reckon?
It's not every day that people talk about this shit in an online capacity, and especially for just being a quote-unquote YouTuber. Like this kind of thing. Obviously, there were things that I never thought about before I started doing it, and some of the stuff I've realized a lot lately is I turned my only hobby that I had any enjoyment or care about into a job. And like, it's no fucking, like, no wonder it hit me so hard when, numbers just weren't working. And when like, the paycheck was bad, it was like, oh, I've turned the biggest thing that I care about, I mean, aside from people, but like into a job, and then the job failed. So it's like, of course you get bitter and resentful towards Sonic the Hedgehog over time, or you get bitter over, whatever. It's like you start growing these like little things, and it sucks because from that point I was like, fuck, this is the only thing I'm good at. It's the only thing I like, and I can't do it anymore. So it's like, shit. And it's like, I would love it if it was still a passion thing, which is why I'm trying to get back to that now, because I would much rather enjoy this shit rather than worry about making views and money out of it. Like, if the money is like an honest bonus now, if I do get these jobs I'm working at. But it's I guess that's just something important to know about YouTube and doing shit like this, that before I started, I thought it was all sunshine and rainbows all the time because it's like a dream job, whatever. But there's a lot of negativity. It really hits you hard in some cases if you're like, feel like me, or like depending on how you feel about things. Like I derived all of my self-worth from what I was able to do here, because I didn't have anything else that I was really proud of. And that just didn't go well when it started going south. It's unfortunate. And some people do YouTube and they knock it out of the park, and they're basically grandfathered in, they have no trouble, whatever. Sometimes you don't. And I think that's the more likely thing that happens sometimes, and it's just something to think about.
The most painful thing is the first time it drops. Like, so when you've been nothing but up for a bit.
Yeah.
And then
Once
when you
start
first
downtrending,
see the decline come in, it's like, oh, this thing that used to make kind of like a living kind of doesn't anymore. And it can almost feel like, oh man, so people know I exist and are now just choosing not to watch? Like, it can feel like.
It
like,
really,
did I fuck
like I was
this?
saying about self-worth, like that was really tough, especially because I was like, I felt accepted. I felt like YouTube was actually the place where I was meant to be doing things, because I was making people happy and I was making myself happy. And then eventually, this is such a tiny thing, but like sometimes people will comment on a video you'll upload and you'll be like, whoa, I haven't watched this guy in years. And it's like, I'm glad that you remember. Or like, like sometimes you get like this guy's still alive, and it's like, barely. Like, apparently, like, no thanks to you, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, thanks for. I don't know if it's supportive. It's meant to be supportive. Like some, you get treated a lot like an entity, or like a thing that people can put up on the shelf when they're done with, and it's not awesome in that case. But like, I guess to loop back around to why this even started. Obviously, we appreciate when people treat us like people, and like that we can have conversations like this, and you guys respond, and you guys just act like people with us. Like that means a lot to, the people that you watch, the people that create content that you watch. So thank you for that.
One of my
we
favorite
appreciate
things is
it a lot.
also the recurrent names and how I like remember them, and also like, but it's also like cool when like you see them interact with each other as well, because it's like a crossover for us. You guys are very entertaining for us, by the way. We're people, you're entertainment. That's how this is. Like, we're spilling our guts here, man. Like, right now, you are our entertainment. You're the video now, bitch. Like,
it's like that fucking. It's like the meme template where it's like, it's just a white square and a mirror, and it goes, "You're the meme format now." But yeah, no, thank you to all of that. I don't know where all that came from, but I guess it's just been on the mind.
I think it was just the fact we noticed that we had a very interactive chat today.
Yeah, and there was,
and I think it was actually kind of something
anyway,
we needed to see.
Yeah, I mean, it does help that. Exactly, yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. But thank you guys. We appreciate all all of you, no matter if you are donating or not.
There's a lot of comments here saying, "Oh, Dylan, you piece of shit. I pity you."
Hey, I'm watching the chat. It's not moving. I see what's going on here. It's fine.
Someone put that silly boy out of his misery. Oh my god! Like,
damn, I'm doing better. Calm down.
I'm just gonna live out of spite in that case.
Yeah, that's what I was doing before.
God, the implication of that sentence. Okay, well,
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to those super chats now. We've probably said too much. Okay, go on, Dilnor. Just go ahead and read the sentence.
Okay.
We know that from KB, he's sent us a fuck ton of money, basically.
Yeah, no, first one. Calling a Switch 2 port of Frontiers a definitive edition is like taking a subpar remaster of Sonic Colors and calling it Ultimate. Oh, wait. Yeah, that one I
Oopsie-doop.
saw when you sent it, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. I like
That goes hard. Thank you, KB. All right.
You.
That reminds me, the Sonic site now has a section that covers the series' history, but they completely ignore anything from Sonic Boom. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop omitting details, Sega. I mean, it was a good show. People liked it. You can say it was a good show. At worst, you can say, hey, Sonic Boom was a good show. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that works. Sonic Boom is a good show.
Dilnor 65th burger.
All right, this is the one where we stopped to actually check, but KB with the 199 said the Sonic site has new character bios, which sent us on like the stream is actually probably twice as long as it was going to be because of that. So thank you for that.
So
KB.
you have KB to thank for extending today's episode.
Yeah.
That sounded like a disciplinary. Why do I sound this way? Like, why do I not sound?
That's just
friendly?
how you talk. I feel like people just have to understand that by now.
The thing is, I feel like I sound friendly in my YouTube videos. Why do I not sound friendly when I talk to people?
You do.
Yeah.
Probably. Are you scripted?
No, not anymore.
In your
I haven't scripted for a while. And you can actually tell because I feel like there's... Okay, so people in England always tell me, "Oi, bruv, you sound American," and I'm like, "No, I'm not American." Like, "Oh, but bruv, you definitely got some American in there." I was like, "No, man, I was born and raised Essex."
Yeah, no, you just talk to a lot of Americans.
Well, it's not even that. I think like there is such a thing as media mirroring, and I grew up watching Family Guy, so I don't know. I think maybe I picked up some surfer dude American tone that influences
Pup
my
is from
inflections.
Quahog, Rhode Island. Yeah. He was raised on the mean streets of Quahog, Rhode Island. That's pretty good.
Oh. All right, next one. Okay, crazy that T used the Buxer ice cap in his remix. Yes. See, that's ways you can acknowledge things, though, and I think if it is just little enough, like, you can do that.
Mhm.
I mean, did you ever notice that in the movie Spider-Man No Way Home, whenever they play a character theme from the previous movie, they only play a few notes of it?
Yeah, I don't love that for the most part. It's fine, but
It was a
I'm like,
compromise.
stop being a coward. Just play the whole fucking thing.
It was because they would have had to pay for it, like...
Yeah, it's like copyright. Like if you use a clip from a show and it's only 2 seconds long or whatever, you know, technically they shouldn't be able to do anything about it, but they still do anyway.
To be honest, though, I don't like the idea of giving them adequate cause to have Michael Giacchino compose less music for the film, because he is an incredible composer. But okay, like, yeah, how does Buxer lead to Giacchino? Like, trains of thought, man. The train headed to Sunset City goes
don't even
fucking everywhere. Borger.
I'm just looking at the fan funding tab this time because they're all in order. But yeah, so next up we have KB again, 199. Also, Sonic X DC issue 3 previews just dropped. I tend not to look at previews most of the time because a comic book is only usually like, how many pages would you say? Like 20 pages or something?
Roundabout, yeah, you don't get much.
Like, I don't like looking at previews for things that are that short, and honestly, the Sonic and DC stuff has not been exactly what I was really looking for, I guess. Like, the first having the big ending kind of mirrored the... It mirrored the ending of Worlds Collide a little bit, in the fact that I thought we were gonna get like a Super Sonic and then like a Super Superman, you know, like
I've
like
been
they did with Mega Man.
Super Superman. Why did they not fucking do Super Superman?
Because it would be funny, like because you could literally have given Superman Goku golden hair and people would have loved the shit out of that. It would have been so funny.
Or at least
like,
just make a joke about Super Superman.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah, DC does not get the chance for that because I imagine they have too many restrictions on what can happen and what characters can do what and what they're allowed to do, what they're allowed to look like. And then we have another sequel series where, and Ian has been, I guess, keeping me updated a little bit on this, where I was hoping, okay, now that we've established that these two worlds can collide, so to speak, we can start telling stories that aren't super surface level anymore. We can start telling some stories that are like more fun, maybe use more of the lore of both worlds to make something interesting. But it's still surface level, like, look, Eggman's wearing Lex Luthor's underwear now, look! And it's like, I don't give a shit. Like, that flies right in the face of what Eggman stands for. Like, he didn't do that shit with Wily. Like,
To be
him
fair,
and Wily
he
fought
did
tooth and
say
nail
that
to,
was
like,
a
have to
deception.
compromise.
He did say that it was a deception.
Was it a deception?
Yeah, that was a deception.
Okay, I didn't get that part, so I'll rescind that at least. But it's still like very surface level, and it's like who in Sonic is like someone in DC? Let's just smash them together because they're the same in air quotes.
Why is okay? Not that
it just doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Well, not that I have a problem with it, but why is Rouge dressed like Catwoman? Like, there was a reason for it the first time. Why is Rouge dressed like Catwoman? The other thing is, I think when you dress the crossover characters like the other characters, it feels less like a crossover. Like, it feels less like
it makes them feel like they're pets. Like this is my little friend Knuckles.
Yeah, these are DC pets. I did actually.
You know, it's funny because they can't do the opposite either, because most of the Sonic characters are just naked. So like you can't have Knuckles in the Superman and Knuckles outfit.
I did read the latest issue of DC X Sonic. That was the issue 2 with Ian, and I also read the latest issue of IDW Sonic. And Sonic comics are in a rough spot at the moment. The latest IDW was absolute nothing. Not enough happens to wait a month for this. Sonic and Tails fall.
That's how I feel about comics most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is an industry-wide problem, but I think the Sonic comics are particularly boring at the moment, and that's a big issue. But we'll move on to the next one, because I'm suddenly needing to go to the bathroom.
It's unfortunate. So, yeah, no, I actually feeling the same. But, like, I also want to say, again, if you guys like DC X Sonic, obviously completely fine. For me, I went to college for English. I read a shit ton of books. I did a lot of, like, literary analysis. I'm sure you could tell because of some of the content I've uploaded that I have problems with how they do stories in this franchise, because I've said it a million times. It's just like the thing where it's so surface level instead of being anything that would actually be very engaging. And I unfortunately feel like the Godzilla crossover is probably going to be the same thing. Like, it's like, oh, Godzilla's here! Fuck! You know, like, and that's pretty much going to be it. Like, it's just like, we're going to fight Godzilla, which is cool. But... you know, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll pull the Mechagodzilla twist for the 10th time in a row, and it's real Godzilla shows up to help them. Whatever. Like, it'll probably be fun to look at. But I crave substance. I know that's stupid to say for a kid's series, but, like, I crave something to latch onto in a story like that, because if not, it's literally just them playing dress up again in DC
All right,
Comics.
I do need you to kind of haul ass a little bit, because I kind of gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. Listen, and finally, $10 from KB. And finally, Classic Sonic's Crossworlds render is an improvement, and I wish Sega stopped working with AI companies, particularly that Chaos Hunt. I don't know what the Chaos Hunt thing is. I've heard the AI disclaimer for it. I don't even know if I want to interact with whatever it is.
The website that operates
like
it could feed your data to AI. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, so Sega's off the hook, because people are always saying Sega's off the hook. But it's like, I don't know. I think it's just kind of suspicious that there's a string of AI things involved in Sega stuff, including AI-generated placeholder assets for Crazy Taxi. Like, I'm sorry, but they're going too far with this now. We need to say no. We can't keep babying them. We can't keep saying, oh, it's not Sega, it's the companies they're collaborating with. Enough. Tell Sega, don't want AI anywhere near our fucking games. Because I tell you what, one thing I don't want, and you're going to say, get your fucking priorities in place, pup, but I don't want it to be that the next Sonic game's coming out, and it's some fucking obnoxious moral debate as to whether or not anyone should buy or play this fucking thing. Because here's the thing. AI makes me miserable. Sonic makes me feel better. Now, if they're getting all fucking mixed up, it becomes a big fucking minefield. I'm not gonna want to support it. At the same time, fuck me, I just want to play a little game. You know, it's...
There's also, in the quickest, not to drag it along at all, but, like, in the quickest way possible, if you've heard of the boiling frog theory, or not, the boiling frog phenomenon, I think it's called. You know, like, they say, if you put a frog in water and you instantly start boiling the water, which no one's done this, obviously. This is a theory. That's why it's a theory.
You've done this. You'd do this. You love frogs.
I would never do that. Frogs are one of my favorite animals. But, like, the theory is if you put a frog in boiling water, the frog goes, oh, shit, that's hot, and jumps out. But the boiling frog theory says if you put the frog in regular temperature water, and then you turn the heat up slightly, and just raise it over time, the frog will not notice in time. And that's kind of what it is with all this AI stuff and with, like, the price increase in gaming, and it's all of this. Like, they're increasing all this shit little by little, like, to $70, but then, like, 4 years from now, it could be $80 per game. And people are like, yeah, but it's only $10 more. But that's $20 more than it used to be.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like
so,
people
like,
are doing this about like the fucking
that
weather
kind of
as well.
thing.
It's like, oh, it's only a few degrees more. It's like, okay, so if it just keeps increasing every year, what do you think
Yeah.
will happen when it's been 100 years? You know, like what do you think happens then?
It's the same as the story of, I don't know if anyone else knows this tale, but there's a story I heard a long time ago about it was some emperor who was rewarding just a common person who had done some service for the emperor, like something grand. They were like, okay, we will give you, you know, we'll give you all the rice in the castle right now. And then the person who was getting the reward said, oh, how about instead, could you give me 1 grain of rice today, and then tomorrow double it, and then just keep doubling it day after day? And they go, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, that's nothing. But then, you know, like, as you go, first day, 1 grain, second day, 2 grains, third day, 4 grains. I'm having a lot of numbers here, but you get the point. Like, it goes very quickly to the point where they go, oh, shit, wait, we don't have any rice left. And I think the story's goal was that that person then spread the rice to the rest of the people around the city or whatever, as like a, you know, I've liberated all of the food. We have food now. But it's like a cocky thing like that. Of course I'll give you 1 a day and double it for a couple, like forever. That's stupid. But, you know, same thing as we were kind of talking about.
I need to apologize because as an ADHD man, you'll understand what I'm getting at here.
What?
I kind of didn't pay a great deal of attention when I should have.
Like just now?
I got a little
care.
distracted at the midway point, and then
You have
I
to
wondered where
piss
we got
too,
the
so, I mean,
rice
that's another
from
problem,
the
so
frogs.
it's fine.
But yeah.
Frogs and rice. That's all you got to know. Anyway, move it. That's all. Thank you so much, KB, for that, and we appreciate all of you.
All right, Dylan, what are you up to?
Pip Productions and I just released episode 2.5 of Magnificent Motobug. Go check that out on Pip's channel. I'm probably gonna be streaming again. Not today, but probably pretty soon.
If we do a
this weekend,
collaboration involving Motobug, like he has to be called the Marvelous Motobug if he's going to be on my channel.
But I would really like to cross-promote correctly, Pup.
Could you not just make it a gag of, like, we just wouldn't allow it?
Yeah, the rights are just different over here.
You could have it so that, like, you see the name at one point, but then it quickly gets covered up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't call himself that.
Just
not
say
like his
I was
name.
being a dick about creative control. It's fine. Like, you'll be funny.
You know what? I gotta piss too. So what are you up to?
Yeah, right. I'm up to taking a piss too. And videos. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Okay. We're not pissing.
Sorry, yeah, no, just to quickly clarify, we're not pissing together, though. Okay? All right?
No, we're on different continents. It's
Yeah,
just,
different
it just so
continent,
happens
yeah.
we both have to piss at the same time.
And
Anyway,
you know,
see you guys later.
Yep. I might even wait a little bit so he pisses first. Okay.